Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. And before we dive into today's episode, which is breaking down all things Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, we're going to talk about the latest episode, the one right before the finale, and then also a few spoilers and exposing Monica and Heather and Meredith and all of the things. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And as you come into the room, be sure to say hi in the chat box, drop where you're listening from, and any of your candy cane questions and comments. So with that, let's go. So first up, let's talk about Monica Garcia. Has she been exposed as a Bravo blogger, reality Von Tease? Now, as we all know, the big question is, who sent the infamous DMs? The DM saying that Angie was a part of the Greek mafia, that she is in debt, shows the IRS hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, her business is a fraud, and everything else. And the question is, did those DMs come from Meredith or did they come from Monica? And we may have our answer now, okay? We may have our answer now. So this is according to All About the Truth. It says, word on the street is that the big secret to be revealed during the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City finale is that Monica Garcia is a well-known Bravo blogger. Buckle up, Bravo fans, because you're in for one hell of a ride. Shortly after the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City Season 4 finale teaser made its way around social media, rumors began to swirl about the highly anticipated final episode. According to reports, the big finale reveal has nothing to do with Heather Gay and Monica Garcia's lawsuit, and everything to do with the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City newbie moonlighting as a Bravo blogger before joining the show in 2022. Reality Ashhole, not the swear word, alleges that Monica Garcia used to run the popular and much discussed Instagram page Reality Von Tease. Per Reality Ashhole, they helped promote Reality Von T Instapage in 2021 and shared screenshots of their post on Instagram. And you guys, you know I always come with receipts. So here we go. These are from Reality Ashhole. This is the account that is accusing Monica of being Reality Von Tease. So basically, she is a sleeper cell, a sleeper agent. She was a fan just like us. It's giving psycho, it's giving single white female, it's giving swim fan, it's giving obsessed. I mean, to be perfectly honest, if this is true that Monica was this Bravo blogger spilling all the Real Housewives tea, then going on the show, that is very, very psycho. Like psycho, crazy, Looney Tune time. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm not being derogatory. I'm being dead serious. It's giving single white female. It's giving stalker. It's giving psycho. If this is true. Now, it would be one thing if she was transparent about it. Like, for example, say I was to join the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and I came on the show and I lied about everything and never disclosed that I had a YouTube channel, talking about Real Housewives all day long and just came on the show like a random housewife. That would be psychotic. But if you come on the show and you're like, yeah, I'm a content creator, I talk about reality television, I talk about pop culture, that's fine. Like the issue isn't that Monica allegedly was a Bravo blogger. The issue is that she lied about it and kept it a secret. That's what the problem is. Because in reality, a lot of housewives have now become bloggers just like me. Look at what's her face? Bethany Frankel. She has a whole podcast and YouTube channel talking about housewives. It's literally called Rewives. There is two T's in a pod, Tamara and what's her name? Teddy. They talk about the Real Housewives all of the time. Dr. Heavenly from Married to Medicine. She talks about the Real Housewives all of the time. The list goes on and on. So many of the housewives are content creators and are bloggers and have podcasts and have YouTube channels. So it's not that she was creating that type of content. It's the fact that she lied about it and kept it a secret. And then on top of that, if it turns out that she was the one who was leaking these quote documents to Meredith and to other people, then that's like a totally different type of level of crazy, right? Like the chick's done loused it. She's done loused it. Yikes. But let's keep going. These are screenshots from March of 2021 of Monica's original troll page that she asked us to help get followers for, and we had no idea Monica was behind it, Reality Ash Hole shared. According to the account's Insta bio, Reality Von Tease is your local Real Housewife of Salt Lake City hot tea hoe for entertainment purposes only. Reality Von Tease, which made the first post on March 1st, 2021, just weeks before Jen Shah's arrest. Sole goal was to expose Jen Shah. In fact, the page first blew up after they shared fashion designer Kiowa Johnson's re-account of the abuse he endured during working for Jen Shah. Reality Von Tease leaked the infamous video of the now imprisoned Real Housewives of Salt Lake City alum screaming at Kiowa in her rented Park City mansion. Not rented Park City mansion. They really are doing the most. The page went on to spend the next nearly 2 years spilling tea about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, specifically Jen Shah. Now, this makes sense because, as we all know, Monica used to be Jen Shah's assistant. So if she was Jen Shah's assistant, she would be privy to and have access to all of the behind the scenes secrets and all of that stuff. So it would make sense that she was able to take screenshots, take, secret video and leak it. Because someone had to take the video of Jen Shah screaming and going after the designer. So it makes sense now that it was Monica because she was the one who had access. So, I mean, it's making sense. It's making sense. And then also, and by we, I mean us candy canes over here, if you joined us for our last Salt Lake City deep dive, then this is the exact conspiracy theory that I said. I said, I think the DMs came from Monica, not from Meredith. And if you watched last night's episode, she basically told on herself because remember, people always tell on themselves. What people say in jest, it's usually the truth. And remember, she's talking with Heather when they go for their walk in Bermuda, and Monica makes a joke. I know I didn't think Meredith would send the DMs. I didn't think any of you guys would do that. That's something I would do. And Heather was taken aback. She was like, "What?" And she was like, "Don't say that because like what normal person would say that, right?" And she was like, "Oh, no, blah 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 blah." But then she was like, "That's something I would do." People always tell on themselves. And when she said that's something I would do, she meant that. She meant that. Okay. Oof, let's keep going. And here are some more receipts, okay? All right. On top of that, Reality Von Tease has been tweeting up a storm about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast in the last few weeks, which is crazy if Monica is truly behind the page. It's saying all this crazy stuff. Oddly enough, Monica also seems to be Kiowa Johnson's new muse, as she's appeared in a number of his dresses in recent months. Kiowa even designed Monica's season 4 reunion dress. This is the same, and if I'm pronouncing his name incorrectly, I apologize, Kiowa Johnson, or maybe it's Koa Johnson. I apologize. I'm doing my best. I'm human, okay? Anyway, the fashion designer, this is the same exact designer that Jen Shah got exposed for cussing out and throwing things at. Now, all of a sudden, he's besties with Monica and is designing her dresses and she's wearing his stuff. Is it a coincidence in my Nini voice? You know, we don't believe in coincidence. We believe in conspiracy. So does it make sense that she is the assistant and she's taking photos and she's getting all the information? She's turning state's evidence to the feds against her. You know, she's starting a blog all of a sudden. I mean, where there's smoke, there's fire, and the math is mathing with this one. If that weren't enough, Jen Shah's former assistant, Murillo Bueno, also revealed that Monica was behind the reality Von Tease Instagram account, and that will be revealed on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 4 finale. Now, I also have those receipts, okay? So, what we're looking at now is reality Von Tease, which is allegedly Monica still talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, throwing shade at them. That's her tweet. And then on the other side is showing them sending people DMs and showing people stuff. It says her DM to us, her pages kept getting deleted. Okay. And now these are the receipts. On the left-hand side, I think for you guys, the one with Jen Shah and Monica. So Murillo Bueno, he is an old former assistant of Jen Shah. And he came out to say it's Monica behind Reality Von Tease. He says, I'm going to hold on to some things, talk soon. Who remembers that blog, Reality Von Tease, on Instagram? I'm sure Monica does. Stay tuned. So he's basically saying, yeah, Monica's the one who is behind this. Stay tuned because it's all about to be revealed. And he would know if he's another former assistant of Jen's. You see what I'm saying? And then this is Reality Von Tease, allegedly Monica, saying that Meredith is on benzos. You know, which to me is really messed up because she wasn't on, I don't know what benzos are. Maybe they're bad drugs. I don't know. But this is clearly when Meredith was just sick, when they flew to, was it Bermuda? Yeah, when they flew to Bermuda and all of them had taken either like anti-anxiety or like flight meds or whatever it was, just to be able to like sleep and relax on the flight. And then Meredith accidentally took an extra one because Whitney said it on in her confessional. So Meredith isn't like some big time drug user popping pills. She just, you know, took something for the flight and then she got sick. So to now go out and try and say she's on benzos, it's just absolutely ridiculous and disgusting. But again, like Meredith, the lawyer in her was putting all the things together. She was like, well, wait a minute. You know, all the information about Angie came from Monica because Monica fed all of this stuff about Angie to Meredith on the flight back from Palm Springs in the very beginning of the season. And that's why Meredith called Monica when she started getting all of these DMs of documentation confirming everything that Monica told her about Angie. Well, allegedly confirming because we know it's all lies, but you know what I mean. And so it was Monica setting Meredith up. But when Meredith didn't take the bait in Bermuda, because remember she walked in and Monica walked in to Meredith and she was like, so remember when we were talking about Angie being in the mafia and about all of her, you know, bankruptcies and her fraud and her financial and her husband being a scammer? And Meredith didn't take the bait and she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I get a lot of DMs. What? La 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 la. Because Meredith was like, not today, Satan. Like, I'm not taking this bait. And then that's when Monica flipped on her and went to Lisa to get Lisa on her side. And then that's why Monica was so pissed when Lisa and Meredith made up because she was like, wait a minute, my scheme isn't working. You know, if Lisa and Meredith make up, then I'm going to be the one on the outs. Then I'm the one that's going to be exposed. And that's why she got so pissed when Lisa and Meredith finally made up because then she couldn't play them against each other because Meredith didn't take the bait. Right? I mean, it's going down. Yeesh. Okay. In the premiere episode of season 4, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's fans saw Heather Gay learn some shocking news during the cast trip to Bermuda. The news Heather has received is so surprising that she pushes the Bravo cameras out of her room as she attempts to wrap her head around what she's just learned. Until now, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City fans believe that the big finale reveal was going to be that Heather learned that Monica was the woman her company Beauty Lab and Laser were suing for lack of payment. Apparently, Monica used the name Monica Fowler, not Monica Garcia, because Monica Fowler, I think, is her first married name, because I think her maiden name is Monica Darnell. The lawsuit between Heather's Beauty Lab and Laser Company and Monica, which came to light in November of 2023, stems from services in December of 2019. So Monica has always been a fangirl of the show. She has always been safe female. To me, it seems like she was stalking all of the women and she was trying to get as close to all of them as possible to get on the show. Again, Bravo, I'm looking at you, Bravo. You need better background checks on people. You need better mental screening on people. And I'm not being derogatory about mental health. You guys know me. I'm not like that. I'm being actually serious because Monica to me seems like a stalker. Like straight up. She targeted Jen Shaw. She targeted Beauty Lab and Laser just to get on the show. She started a anonymous fan account, not showing her face, not showing her name. And I'm not being hypocritical because I do show my face on my channel. You guys all know the real me, and this is my real name. So she started a whole fan account under an alias and got herself on the show. And that's really, really scary that she didn't disclose it. That is the scariest part. And then to send them all of this information and then lie and try and make everybody think it was Meredith is really, really super cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. All right. Now let's go. 1 second. Okay. While it's still unconfirmed, wait, hold on a second. Okay. In August, Heather Gay's company, Beauty Lab and Laser, filed a lawsuit against Real Housewives of Salt Lake City newbie Monica Garcia for breach of contract and breach of covenant of good faith and fair dealing. Monica fired back with a countersuit for alleged botched procedures on her nose and lips. While it's still unconfirmed if the big reveal during the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 4 finale will be Heather and Monica's lawsuit drama or the fact that Monica was previously a Bravo blogger, but either way, it's going to be juicy AF. Dun dun. What are your thoughts? Woof, you guys, that is a doozy. That is a lot. So I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. Do you think that it's really Monica behind everything? Do you really think that Monica is behind all of the DMs and all of the drama and everything that's going on? And what do you guys think? Put it down below. And what do you think the finale is going to be? Is the finale going to be Monica being exposed as, the Bravo blogger stalker fan? Or do you think the finale is going to be Monica being exposed as the stalker person who did not pay for beauty lab and beauty procedures? I think it's going to be her being exposed as the blogger. That's what I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be Monica being exposed as the blogger and that it was her sending the DMs. That's what I think it's going to be. So put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And with that, let's move on to our next story. So this is all about Monica Garcia hinting at her Real Housewives of Salt Lake City exit after a, quote, rough season of being exposed as a liar and for being exposed as a stalker fan. Yeah, girl, it's a rough season because of you. So let's dive in. So this is also according to All About the Truth, and I have the receipts as well, and I'll definitely put up those screenshots too so you guys can see it. So Monica Garcia may be a one-season wonder despite having an amazing debut season on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. The Real Housewife of Salt Lake City newbie teased on social media that she may not return for season 5. Okay. On Instagram, one fan commented, #Real Housewife of Salt Lake City equals the Monica Show. Can't believe we almost won't have you on our screens anymore for a while. Monica then replied, or maybe never again. And like always, I come with the receipts. So here it is on the screen, okay? All right, let's keep going with this one. The comment comes shortly after the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City newbie opened up about having a difficult debut season and opening up her life for the world to pick apart. The 40-year-old recalls how hard it has been to put yourself out there and be completely vulnerable only for everyone to rip you to shreds over and over and over again on repeat. Monica wrote, and this is what also on the screen when she's trying to be like Lisa Barlow, because she has the like McDonald's diet diet Coke in her hand and she's like naked. It's just like, girl, get your own shtick. You know what I'm saying? Like Diet Coke is Lisa Barlow shtick. Like leave it to the queen. Leave it to the HBIC. Get your own shtick, okay? Anyway, so this is what Monica said. She walks through hell with a smile because she owns her demons. I have been saying from the beginning that you all are going to see everything, all my flaws, all my mistakes, all the bad decisions I've ever made. Being exposed like this for the entire world to see is not for the weak. It's not even for the smart. The journey is for the insane. It's like putting yourself out there naked and completely vulnerable just for everyone to rip you to shreds over and over and over again on repeat. As if no one else has ever messed up in their own lives and you're the only sinner to ever walk the earth. I knew exactly what to expect. This game of the come up, and what kind of come up would it be without people trying to pull you all the way back down? Opposition in all things. Monica Boo Boo, you are a psycho. You're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. First of all, you literally said the journey is for the insane. Like I always say, people tell you exactly who they are. And she has this forever victim mentality. You are not a victim in this, Monica. You got on this show with your big old age of 40 years old and lied through your teeth. Not only lied through your teeth, but like plotted and manipulated and calculated and tried to throw other people under the bus. But I saw who you were from literally day one because energy doesn't lie. And the moment I saw you on my screen, I was like, this girl is crazy. This girl is a liar. This girl's a psycho. We have to watch out for her. I've said that since day one. And everything I said has, not to toot my own horn, but my candy cane thinking cap was all the way on. And I said from day one, this girl is a fraud and she is a scammer and she is a liar. And I was like, watch it and look everything that came out. Because this is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Nobody is tearing you to shreds and trying to bring you down. We're just like, wait a minute, you're saying A, but reality is B, C, D. You're saying E, but then it's F, G. Like, you're just lying and it's just all coming out. Nobody's attacking you. Nobody is trying to bring you down. We just aren't stupid. We just know 1 plus 1 is 2, and you're trying to tell us it's 5. So you're not a victim in this. No one is personally attacking you. No one is personally going after you. You schemed and you scammed and you lied to get yourself on a reality TV show. And all we're doing is being normal people who watch television and talk about it online, which is what everybody does in 2023. It's not personal, Monica. It's literally just entertainment. Girl, bye. She then let the Bravo fans and her Real Housewives of Salt Lake City co-stars now know that she's ready for the season 4 finale. Now, with that being said, let's effing go. Here I am. Do your thing. I promise you, I have been through worse. Nothing I've done in my life will ever be worse than my affair. Nothing. I am so ready for this finale to come out, and I honestly cannot wait for you all to see it. Time for all of the pieces of the puzzle to be put together. Until then, I'll just sit here, wait, and sip on my drinky drink. Girl, the delusion of it all. It's the delusion for me. It's the delusion for me. It really is. It really, really is. It's the delusion for me. And Monica, again, we're not stupid. The jig is up. She's trying to gaslight us. It's like she knows that she's going to be exposed for all the lies and it's not going to go well for her. So instead of admitting that, she's like, oh, I'm ready for the reunion. Bring it on. Bring on the finale. Bring it on. I will be vindicated. You all will see the truth. You all will see the truth, to sort of gaslight us before we see it. You know what I mean? It's almost like priming us to have the perspective that, oh, Monica must be vindicated, or, oh, it won't be that bad. Monica, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, but the narcissistic, egotistical, victim mentality, stalker, freaking single white female vibes you're giving, like, I feel really bad for your children. And I said it from day one. I'll say it again. I feel really bad for your mother too, because I don't blame your mother for this. I don't. This is a Monica problem. I think your mother is one of your victims. I think your children are definitely your victims. And I think your mother is a victim of you too. I think your mother is scared of you. And I think your mother knows exactly who you are. And there comes a point in time where we have to stop blaming mommy for adults having psychotic behavior. I think your mother knows exactly who you are. I think your mother is scared of you. I think that's why she canceled the family Bermuda filming, because she was worried what you were going to do to her family. And I think your mother is one of your victims. You got on this show in front of the entire world and you maligned and disrespected this woman all up and down, every which way. You had people thinking your mom was this monster, toxic, abusive person. You are a liar, in my humble opinion. You went on here and you maligned your mother. In narcissism terms, you did a smear campaign against your own mother for sympathy and for storyline, because you didn't want to take accountability for when you lost your freaking mind and was throwing shoes and cussing people out at Andrew's party. You did an entire smear campaign against your own mother. Again, I'm not a doctor. I don't diagnose, but Google it, narcissist and smear campaigns, to get people on your side so you could become the victim and not take accountability for your actions. In my opinion, I think your mother is one of your victims. And I'm not going to blame your mom for who you are, because you are a 40-year-old woman. You can take responsibility for yourself. There comes a time where we have to stop blaming mommy for everything wrong in your life. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. And I feel really bad for her mother. I do. I really, really do. Her mom, listen, is she perfect? No, nobody's freaking perfect. Okay? Nobody is perfect. And you can take any childhood story and twist it and narrate it to make it sound like you have been abandoned and abused and all of this stuff. I mean, if anybody in this world says that they have never done something like a misstep with their children or their parents, they're lying. They're humans. I don't think her mother is abusive. I don't think her mother is toxic. I don't think her mother is a monster. I think her mother was a young mother, actual single mother, doing the best she could to take care of her daughter. And I think Monica's issues, whether it's a personality disorder, whether it is something else, again, I'm not trying to diagnose her because I am not a doctor, but whatever is going on with her, I don't think that has anything to do with her mother. I don't think her mother caused it, and I don't think her mother can fix it, because there are certain like disorders and personality types and mental dispositions that nobody can do it to you and nobody can take it away. It's just how you are. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, for me, Monica, it's a no. It's a no. And I'm going to play you guys. We watched this before in another video, but I think it's good to play it now again. The clip from Monica's friend of 4 years, basically exposing Monica's personality and her real type and how she actually is. Okay. So let's watch that. Okay. Here we go.
I'm watching the new episode, and I'm just going to say this. If this woman is willing to call me in the middle of the night and tell me after a fight and not being spoken to for a few days in full tears and tell me that her daughter got hit by a car, so I get up out of my sleep and I start to head there, she calls me right back. Don't be mad. She didn't get hit by a car. I just knew that was the only way that you would talk to me. There's your new housewife. And in 4 years of friendship with her, I never heard of a single family member in Bermuda. I heard of an auntie in Arizona, and I heard of an uncle and his son in Boston. Bermuda? Never. Okay, now I'm on the part where they are, spoiler alert, by the way, they're sitting at dinner and Monica's saying, we did hear that. This is what Monica does. She groups you, right? We said that. Meredith didn't say shit. Meredith's like, I never said that. She's like, we did talk about that. Okay, she was sitting there while you brought it up, bitch, in the last episode. But we did talk about this. Here's the thing about Monica. She has a lot of burner accounts, and she likes to send herself text messages. She likes to send herself DMs. She probably sent those DMs to herself and then sent them to Meredith and then sent them to whoever else from her freaking burner accounts. Keep it cute. Just saw Heather's last confessional. Now, mind you, when I do confessionals, I'm not sitting in the room listening. Usually I just style the hair and leave. So I'm watching it for the first time with everyone else. So, but I just saw Heather's confessional with the theory that I just said. And yes, boo, it was Monica. It was Monica. I'm going to say maybe it was Monica. Because I can't confirm, right? Can't confirm. But more than likely, it was your girl.
Yep, I believe Tanisha. In my opinion, I believe Tanisha. And this is the thing. I think Monica learned from Jen Shah as well. We know that she was Jen Shah's assistant. And don't forget this. When Meredith used to be pissed off at Jen Shah, she was pissed off at Jen Shah because she thought Jen had social media accounts, fake accounts, attacking her son, Brooks, right? I think that was during the same time Monica was either trying to get on the show or trying to become Jen's assistant and all of that. So we already have that precedent of Jen Shah having fake social media accounts to do her dirty work. Monica's her assistant. She's learning from Jen. On top of that, also don't forget that Angie Harrington, remember her? Remember her and her husband was exposed for creating fake Instagram accounts. It was called Shah's Exposed, and it was talking about Lisa Barlow and Jen Shah. So Angie Harrington and her husband also had the precedent of creating these fake accounts to spread information. So if Monica was a part of that circle as Jen Shah's assistant, it's not that far of a leap to think that she would know, oh, let's just create fake accounts to spread fake information or even real information, but just be the people out there exposing it. So there is precedent for this, of people creating these fake accounts. And then also don't forget, the reason why I think she picked Meredith to be the fall person is because remember when Meredith was like, oh, I'm so tired of people talking about the rumors I brought up about Lisa. In the clip that they did the flashback, when Meredith was talking to Whitney, she said, Jen Shah sent me this stuff, or Jen Shah was the one who told me these rumors, because Jen Shah and Lisa were also beefing. So the rumors that Meredith brought to the show about Jen Shah, about Lisa Barlow, came from Jen Shah, which makes Whitney, I don't know if Whitney is just, I don't know the right way to say this because I don't want to be offensive. Like, I don't know if shout out to Wendy Williams. I don't know if Whitney is just less than smart or if she's just really lying and calculated and manipulative. But when Whitney says, "Oh, I think it's Meredith because I did the same thing with Meredith last year about Lisa," that actually isn't true, Whitney. Because Meredith said what she was saying about Lisa came from Jen, and Whitney said what she was saying about Lisa came from the people, like it was like the big, like that, remember it was like some big head honcho guy about jazz tickets and people were talking about it and all that stuff, and she heard it from all these other people allegedly. So when Whitney came with her rumors about Lisa, Meredith had never told her those rumors, and they were two separate rumors. Meredith was insinuating, oh, Lisa does favors to get Vita tequila distributed. That's what Meredith said. Whitney said that Meredith that Lisa was giving BJs for jazz tickets. These were two totally different rumors that came from two totally different camps. So when Whitney says, "Oh, I think it's Meredith because Meredith made me do this up against Lisa last year," that is a lie. The reason why it got conflated was because Meredith invited Whitney over for, remember, they were drinking the white wine and are talking about it. And even when Whitney brought up giving BJs for jazz tickets, Meredith looked at her like, "What?" And she said, "I didn't hear that." Because Meredith and Jen Shah had come up with a completely different set of rumors about Lisa. And then that's why Heather Gay was like, "Whitney, I don't know what you're talking about. I never heard those rumors." And remember when Heather and Whitney had that huge falling out because Heather would not say, "I heard the same thing about Lisa Barlow." And they almost got into that fight when Heather pushed Whitney when she was like wasted in the black lingerie, and she kind of pushed her into the wall because Whitney was wasted and going after her. So when Whitney says, "I think it's Meredith because I did it with you last year against Lisa," that actually isn't true. Because again, Meredith is very smart and very strategic. And she said, "I said favors. I never said sexual." And she's correct. She never said sexual. She just left innuendo. She left the door open for people to assume and fill in the gaps, which is smart because then she can say, "I never said that." You can infer it, but I never said it. Right? So Whitney, again, I don't know if she's just less than smart and actually in her mind thinks this, or if she's just lying and manipulative and trying to, throw people under the bus and try and, throw jabs in there, but hiding her hand. It could be that too. But Meredith and Whitney were not in cahoots against Lisa. It was in Whitney's mind that they were. So they were actually talking about two different things. Lisa Barlow, I love her, but she actually doesn't even get that either. She really thinks Meredith and Whitney were in cahoots against her, but actually, if you actually watch the show and everything they said that went down, that's actually not true. And then Meredith even got pissed about it last season, too, going against Whitney about it. And then that's when Whitney and Meredith had their whole falling out. So there's that. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Monica is really going to quit the show, or is this just another pay attention to me, pick me behavior, victim mentality? What do you guys think? And do you think that she is a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? And obviously, we don't mean that in a derogatory way about mental health, but do you think something's a little off for someone to basically stalk everybody on the show? Go to Beauty Lab and Laser and stiff them on $2,000, create allegedly all of these fake accounts to expose them and do dirt against them, and then to actively send them DMs and try to set people up. And then also, I think she targeted Jen Shah. I think she knew exactly what she was doing when she went to work for her because she wanted to be on the show. I think Monica was going to do anything she could to have fame, and the way she saw getting that fame was by being on the show. And to me, it's a little scary. It's a little screw loose. If you want to be on a reality show, that's fine, but just be transparent. That to me, it's the lying and the pretending. That's the biggest, weirdest part. So let me know what you guys think. Put it down below and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So with that, let's move on to our third story, which is the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Heather calls Whitney drunk and crazy in heated fight over sexuality. Now, let's see whose side are you on. So, as we all know, Whitney kind of lost her mind and was accusing Heather Gay of exploiting her sexuality to sell her book. And Heather basically was like, "You've lost your mind. You're drunk. Stay away from me. You're being way too aggressive." And I want to know what you guys think. But before we do that, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. All right. So, this is also from All About the Truth. It says on Tuesday's episode of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Whitney Rose called out Heather Gay's hypocrisy and got called drunk and crazy in return during a heated fight. The clause came out between cousins, friends, and co stars Heather Gay and Whitney Rose during Tuesday's episode of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Tensions heated up when Whitney shared her feelings about Heather's infamous memoir, Bad Mormon. The ladies headed to the oldest bar in Bermuda, but the night took a turn when Lisa Barlow decided to stir the pot. The Vida Tequila owner asked the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast who had actually read Heather's 2022 memoir. This gave Whitney the opening to vocalize her issues with Heather's book. The 37-year-old called out Heather for exploiting her sex life. In Bad Mormon, Heather wrote about a 2017 boudoir photo shoot that Whitney did as a gift for her husband, Justin Rose. Whitney was unhappy that Heather put her intimate activities on blast in her memoir or refusing to open up about her sex life. So I've read your book, and last night you were so uncomfortable to talk about sex with Monica. Last night was hard for me. You told Monica to shut the F up, but you openly write about my sexuality in your book, Whitney told Heather. It's hypocritical that you won't talk about your own life, but you write about mine in your book. Heather denied Whitney's accusations, retorting, "I wrote the book, and it had nothing to do with your sexuality." In her confessional interview, Heather continued, "I don't talk about Whitney's sex life in my book. I described when I first met her. I was a boudoir photographer, and she was a sexy model." The 49-year-old Real Housewife of Salt Lake City OG also insisted that Whitney knew what was in the book before it went to print. Like, what is Whitney trying to do? Take credit for the book being a bestseller because she and my friends are in it? It's just not true. We've discussed my book 100 times, and she's known what was in it, Heather quipped. Okay. Before we continue, this is where I land on it, and I want to know what you guys think. Put your thoughts down below. I think that Whitney is just looking for a moment. I think she is doing the absolute most to have TV time, camera time, having moments. I think she is still pissed at Heather because Heather is now good friends with Lisa Barlow, and Whitney and Lisa are on the outs. I think she's so jealous that Heather and Lisa are still friends, that she is doing everything in her capacity to take shots at Heather. This whole saying that Heather sex shamed Monica, that's a lie. Heather never sex shamed Monica. All she said was, "I'm not discussing my daughter's sexuality," because Monica, in my opinion, very inappropriately asked Heather if her daughter, her child, was sexually active. Excuse me? What? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? And don't forget, Monica's eldest daughter is not that much younger than Heather Gay's oldest daughter. Monica's oldest daughter, I think, is like a junior or senior in high school. And Heather's eldest daughter just went off to college. I wonder how Monica would feel if someone was inquiring about her daughter's sexuality. But then again, she made the comment, Kris Jenner does it all the time. So maybe Monica wouldn't have a problem exploiting her child's sexuality for money and 15 minutes of fame. But unlike her, Heather had a problem with it. And I agree with Heather. She created healthy boundaries. She respected her daughter's privacy, and she did not exploit her daughter's sexuality. So shout out to Heather. She protected her daughter, and I'm here for it. That is by no means sex shaming Monica. Monica was then the one who, at the dinner the next couple of scenes, brought up, "Oh, let's talk about, when was the last time you had sex and blah, 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 blah." And then they got in this whole fight because Heather was like, "Well, look, like I'm the only single girl here. So me talking about it looks a little different than you guys because you guys are all married." which was true because Monica, even though she's a big fat liar, was very much legally married, not even divorce papers, because she filed for divorce in June of 2023. So when they're filming the scene, Monica is very much legally married to her husband, Michael, now ex-husband. When she says he won't sign the papers, that was a lie because she didn't file for the second time until June. In June of 2023, the season was already wrapped. They were done filming. So that was a lie. That's why Heather said, "You're not single like I'm single," which is very true. It's very different for Heather, who has been divorced for years and is actually 100% a single woman, versus Monica, who is still legally married to her husband at the time this whole conversation went down. And there's nothing wrong with any person, woman, man, whatever, to say, I don't feel comfortable talking about my sex life or my sexuality in this particular moment. That's not sex shaming another person. That is asserting your own agency and saying, this makes me feel uncomfortable and I don't feel like talking about it. I don't think it had anything to do with religion, like weird Angie said. Angie just, again, Angie less than smart, less than smart. I don't understand Angie, whatever. She's like, we've been so indoctrinated by the Mormon church. And I don't have anything to do with religion. I think that Heather did not feel comfortable discussing her sex life with Monica. I don't think it had anything to do with religion. And that's what Heather said herself. She said, I know how Monica discusses sex and I'm not with it. Because Heather has discussed sex a lot on the show. To the point where you remember when she said she wanted like a big black guy because they have, the big black, you know what I'm saying? And remember how she was trying to hook up with that guy who Jen Shaw had tried to set her up with, and then they were at that party and there was a big black guy there and she wanted him to, and she's like, let's go in the back or something. Like, Heather has been very vocal about her sex and about her sexuality and about wanting to have more of it and wanting to explore. She's been very vocal about her sex life. She just said, I don't want to talk about it with you, boo boo. That's very different. That's not hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is Whitney all of a sudden acting like, oh my God, I can't believe you're talking about my sex and my body in your book. Whitney, who, in my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, Whitney and Justin, who I think lied and said that the reason why he got fired was because on camera they had, basically like a nude painting sex party with her and her husband on the show. I don't think that's why he got fired. I think he got fired because the company allegedly is a pyramid scheme, MLL marketing scheme, who had a class action lawsuit going on, and they didn't want the public smoke. They didn't want the media attention on the company because they were being sued in the class action. And the more people that join the class action, the worse it is for them. And they didn't want that smoke. That's why I think they, quote, fired Justin. I don't think they fired him. I think they were like, listen, we got to let you go. We'll give you a severance package, but we don't want this heat. That's what I think happened. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that they were on this show basically getting wasted. And remember when she talked about the stripper pole and taking body shots and having her boobs everywhere, bought a boob cake to Meredith and Seth because Meredith's husband Seth loves her boobs. Listen, Whitney, you are the last person on this cast to talk about somebody exploiting their sexuality. And Heather writing about her experience of when she first met you is not exploiting your sexuality. She's just retelling the first time she met you. That's it. And you also talk about people exploiting your sexuality. On last night's episode, you literally said, oh, you know what I love about Justin? His nose, because it's good for you know what? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You guys watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. So what are you talking about? Whitney, you just wanted a moment. You wanted to bring Heather down because you're jealous that she's friends with Lisa. And you're pissed that she told Lisa what you were saying about her behind her back, that you were talking to her and you're making her a better person and how selfish she is, but you're making her see the light and you're making her change. The only reason why you went after Heather and about this whole book thing was because you were on some get back. And you made up this whole sexual exploitation thing just as an excuse to try to take Heather down. It has nothing to do with your sexuality. It has nothing to do with Heather's sexuality. It has everything to do with you being jealous and on your get back. And to me, that is crystal clear. Crystal. And that's just my opinion on this. And I think that, Justin, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, blink twice if you need us to come and save you. Because Whitney also was disrespecting Justin. Oh, it was so good to sleep by myself. And Heather was the one who defended him and was like, oh, don't be talking about our J man or J dog. She was just like, oh, like, that's kind of like not nice to say about your husband. And then Whitney wonders why Justin isn't wearing his wedding ring and why they're not having sex and why he is, at work 99% of the time because he's avoiding you because you're insufferable. If I was Justin, I would be avoiding you too. So, Whitney, have several seats. Several. Okay, let's keep going. You exploited my sexuality in your book, Whitney told Heather. You won't talk about sexuality, but you will effing exploit mine in your book to effing sell it. Do you understand what you're saying? Because you sound like an idiot, Heather said while getting up from the table ready to leave. I think you are a ridiculous bee for even saying it. Before exiting the bar, Heather got into a shoving match with Whitney, who was yelling, You took my shoe off! You exploited my sexuality! After almost losing her balance and falling over, Heather stormed out of the bar while telling Whitney, What is your sexuality? You're wearing it right now. Own it. Whitney ran after Heather, all while dragging co-star Monica Garcia into the drama. Heather, it's not fair for you that you sex-shamed Monica and exploited my sexuality in your book, Whitney yelled at Heather in the parking lot. Why are you so defensive about it, Heather? I want to have a conversation with you. I don't want to have a conversation with you, Heather said. You're drunk and you're crazy. Get away from me. I'm not drunk or crazy, Whitney fired back, which probably means you are both. To which Heather replied, You are both. You are guilty because you know you exploited my vagina in your book, Whitney yelled. Girl, please stop. Please stop. So, what do you guys think? That was my rendition, as if I was in the clubhouse doing a clubhouse reading. There you go. So, I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Whitney has a point? Oh, Heather, you exploited my sexuality in your book, even though I gave you permission to tell the story, even though before the book went to print, I knew exactly what you were going to say in it, and I never had a problem or an issue with it, even though you are simply retelling what your experience of something is. Or are you like me and you think Whitney have several seats? You were drunk and you were crazy, and you're picking a fight with Heather. You're making this up because you're pissed that she's friends with Lisa and you're jealous that you're no longer friends with Lisa. That's really what the core of this fight is. You're just jealous and you want to take Heather down by any means necessary. And so you made up this whole sex shame, sexuality BS. Girl, bye. Girl, bye. Ugh, but I want to know what you guys think. Put it down below. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. All right, so let's move on to more of a recap of the episode. So I usually do a slide where I go through each of the girls, but I feel like I'll just do more of a recap of the entire episode this time, just to save a little bit of time. Okay. So quickly, I'll go through each one. I'll give a top level, and then we'll go through the episode, and I'll give insights and everything. And as you listen, be sure to put your comments and your questions down below. So when it comes to Monica, we all know exposed for being the Bravo blogger and behind the DMs about Angie and all the rest of the women and all of her lies gets exposed and basically setting up Meredith to take the fall. So when it comes to Meredith, I loved that she made up with Lisa. I love that. I love Meredith and Lisa duo, and I hope that it sticks this time. I hope that Lisa finally got everything out, because I don't think that Lisa is angry with Meredith. I think she's still hurt and just needs Meredith to sort of like bow down a little bit more. So I hope that they get back together. Okay, Heather. Loving Heather this season. I think it's one of Heather's best seasons. I never thought that I would, be a Heather person. But this season, she really, really won me over. And I'm happy that she's not letting up on Whitney. She's not just, catering to Whitney and just trying to bow down to her. I'm happy that she's calling her out for who she is. Okay, when it comes to Lisa Barlow, I'm happy that she finally let it go with Meredith. Like, she got it out for the one last time. Like, Lisa, that has to be your last meltdown over Meredith and the SEC filings and everything that happened last season. Like, you've had about 20 meltdowns about it. That has to be the last one. I love you, Lisa, but let it go. Whitney, miserable, mean, and insufferable, and she was just looking for a moment with Heather. Angie, this needs to be her last season. She was totally played by Monica, and she's a snooze fest. Monica played you like a freaking fiddle this entire season. Played you like a fiddle. She was the one who said the rumor that your husband was sleeping with men and cheating on you. She was the one who brought the rumor to the group that you're in the Greek mafia, that you owe the IRS hundreds and thousands of dollars, that your business is a fraud, that your husband is a scammer. Monica is the person who did this to you, not Meredith. But you just took the bait and just believed everything Monica said, hook, line, and sinker. Like, Angie, do you even know Monica? Like, did you know Monica before the show? And you're just going to take everything she says as if it's Bible? Angie, bye. Angie's a complete snooze fest to me. Oh, Tay says he loves Angie. Ah, that's funny. All right, let's talk a little bit more about the episode right now. This is from Reality Blurb. Let's see if the troubled waters in Bermuda have settled down for our Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Someone might end up swimming with the fishes if they do not resolve their conflict. So let us go back and enjoy the sights of the Bermuda-full island. So Heather invites Monica on a walk on the beach to chat about the night before. She lets her know that the topics of sex for her, and especially her kids, is off limits. Monica now realizes she should not have gone there and must now produce another way to get camera time. Heather then inquires about who Monica thinks is behind the fake social media accounts. She infers that Meredith could have done it, but Monica is reluctant to believe that. Monica thinks this is her kind of behavior, but would never send herself DMs. Side note, this scene kept me focused on Heather's green hat and purse, which she was carrying and then plopped on her head. Is Heather's hat a converted purse? Sorry, I digress. Okay, so this part of the episode, you guys, what I actually think was the most important part of that scene was Monica telling on herself. When Monica says, "Oh, I didn't think Meredith would do that. I didn't think that any of you guys would do something like that. That's something I would do." That was her telling us who she is. And remember when Heather was like, "What? Like, why would you say that? Like, don't say that about yourself and send things to you." And Monica kept laughing. She's like, "Oh, well, no, like, I wouldn't send it to myself." Yeah, she wouldn't send them to herself, but she would send them to Meredith. She'd send them to other people. She'd post them on Instagram. She'd post them on Twitter. When she said that's something I would do, she was basically admitting this is something I did. You got to listen to people when they talk to you because they will always expose themselves. To me, that was the most important part of that conversation. Okay. Meredith gets a call from Seth and drones on about her situation, and I found myself lulled almost asleep. She shares that everyone is ganging up on her. Meredith thought Lisa's behavior was crazy. Seth tells Meredith to ignore the questionable behavior and enjoy the beautiful island. Okay. To me, the most important part of that scene was I always believed Meredith from day one when it came to whether or not it was Monica or Meredith who sent the DMs. Just energetically, Meredith to me seemed like she was telling the truth. And I don't see Meredith actually doing something so sloppy that could be easily digitally tracked back to her, like with like IP addresses and everything. Like this day and age, there's nothing anonymous, right? Just like Lisa said, I'll get my cybersecurity on it. There's nothing anonymous anymore with IP addresses and cookies and, all this stuff going on. And you can't do anything anonymous. They will find you. They will find you. I don't think Meredith would be this sloppy. I really don't. And I also don't think Meredith has the time. Like, it just, and I always believed her because she seemed like she was consistent. Her body language seemed like she was telling the truth. And she was genuinely trying to figure it out, just like we were when she was talking to Seth. She was like, listen, she's like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on and things coming out. I don't know what's happening. She was very sincere when she took Angie aside and was like, hey, there's a lot of, she's like, listen, I know we beef, but girl, we need to talk because there's actually something going on. It was a moment of like, yeah, we beef for camera time and storyline, but listen, there is somebody after you, but it ain't me. Same thing happened with Meredith talked to Heather. She was like, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. And Heather, like us, had our candy cane thinking hat on and was like, you know what? You need to nip this in the bud with Monica. Because I think Heather knew Monica was not to be trusted and that something was up with her. Because I think Heather got Monica's number a few episodes ago. I would say where it turned for Heather liking Monica was during Heather's butter churning party. Whatever we did not see at that party, I think really turned Heather against Monica. Monica must have done something or said something where Heather was like, you're fake, you're phony, you're not to be trusted. Because that was the moment their friendship dynamic changed. That was the moment when Heather really realized Monica was a fraud and not to be trusted. That's when it changed. And so to me, Meredith has been consistent. And I just never made sense for it to be Meredith. Never made sense. Okay. Whitney and Angie decide to play tennis to help with their aggression. Angie cannot hit the ball even when she pictures Meredith's face. She is blown away that Meredith is continuing to spread negative rumors about her. Again, Angie, less than smart. You can't just believe what everybody says to you. You know, personally, when people come to me and they're like, oh, Candy, this person said this about you, I always question the person who is telling me this more than the person who allegedly said something. Unless this is like my best friend person who I know through and through only has good intentions for me. Because you always have to squint about stuff like that. Whitney cannot believe that Meredith had cake with them after being verbally spanked at dinner. Who knows, that might be a turn on for her, right, Seth? She wants to know why Heather came from Monica. Whitney is annoyed that Heather talked about her boudoir photo shoot in her Bad Mormon book. She claims that she is triggered by Heather's comments in her book. She needs to know we all get like triggered by her baby talk infused with Valley Girl every episode. Agreed. Whitney, to me, her voice is insufferable. And when she tries to like pull sentences together and there's like these long gaps in between words, it's a lot. It's a lot. Lisa has planned for the ladies on the catamaran, which she defines as a super sick strong boat, and production shades for her lack of knowledge. Meredith specifically does not listen to what the itinerary is since she is wearing stilettos on a boat. She must live in an alternate universe and she is never on the same page as all the other ladies. Angie, whose glasses resemble a side view mirror, is wearing stilettos and a cover up that looks like a rainbow colored fishnet. Does anyone know proper boat etiquette? Whitney is giddy, saying that the boat has a stripper pole and cannot wait to mount it, wearing a skirt. She really is an attention seeking and cannot stop herself from exploiting her own vagina. Heather chats with Meredith, who feels like they are icing her out. She's surprised that Meredith's resting bee face has not shown any emotion when confronted about the rumors. Meredith shares that Monica told her rumors on the plane from Palm Springs and suspiciously received DMs herself. Heather looks perplexed and is not sure what to believe, but she must see that Jen Shaw trained this newbie well. See, that's the thing. I don't think Jen Shaw trained Monica. I think Monica single white femaled Jen Shaw. That's what I think. I don't think that Jen Shaw was even, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't think that Jen Shaw even knew how Monica was. Because I do think it was Monica who leaked a lot of Jen Shaw's information. about her screaming at the fashion designer about her finances and the feds and all of that stuff on her like fake accounts. So I don't think that Jen Shah trained Monica. I think Monica's single white female Jen Shah. I think she studied her. I think she targeted her. And then I think she tried to take her down because she wanted to take her place. Like I think it's really a like a mental weirdness, disposition, something going on. Like there's something very scary about all of it. And, I know I'm repeating myself, but I just want to be clear that when I talk about, mental or disorders, I'm not being disrespectful at all. I'm actually being genuine when I say this. I do think there's something very scary about how Monica has moved. If it because again, this is speculation, but if it turns out that these allegations are true, it's very scary how much she infiltrated these women's lives, going to Heather's beauty lab and laser and then not paying the $2,000 bill and but trying to get into her life, seeking out Jen Shah, becoming an assistant, taping her, creating these fake accounts and not telling anybody, trying to expose the women, and then getting on the show however the hell she did that without exposing who she is. I mean, this is some actual weird stuff. Like, this is some really scary stalker behavior. And now I understand why Heather was like, I don't ever want to film with this person. Monica needs to be evaluated. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm being serious. Like, I'm being dead serious. I think there's really like a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, ticky ticky boom going on. And I'm being serious when I say that. I'm not being rude, I'm not being hateful, I'm not being any of those things. I'm being genuinely, there's a tick there. Like there's something wrong. Anyway, let's get back to the article. Okay. Meredith pulls Monica aside while she's eating her tacos. Monica is now backpedaling about the mafia comments. She recalls they Googled Greek mafia in Utah to see if it was a real thing. Meredith is telling Monica she is the one that was sharing this information. Lisa starts yelling for Meredith to stop lying and accept responsibility for her actions. Someone really pulled Lisa's chain in this episode since she's behaving like an aggressive, chatty Cathy doll. See, that's the thing. Lisa, I love Lisa, but this has to be the last time she goes off on Meredith. Let it go. Lisa doesn't care about the DMs about Angie. She doesn't care about Monica's DMs. Lisa is still triggered by Meredith and what Meredith did about the SEC filings and about saying she did favors for Vita Tequila. That's what Lisa is triggered about. Lisa is triggered about Lisa. But we need to put a pin in it, okay? Angie then dives in to remind them she's a reputable businesswoman with a multi-million-dollar business. Meredith then interjects that she does not want to be narrated, but someone needs to since she is stuck in silent mode. Whitney tells Meredith she engaged in the same pattern of behavior with her and she needs to own it and it will go away. Meredith storms off. That's what I'm saying. I said this before. I'll say it again. Whitney either less than smart, and in her mind, she actually thinks that her and Meredith were in this diabolical cahoots plan to take down Lisa, or she's just lying and being manipulative and trying to, throw Meredith under the bus to hide her own accountability and starting rumors about Lisa. Because actually on the show, Meredith did not tell Whitney any rumors about Lisa. The rumors that Whitney brought to the show were rumors that her and Jen Shah came up with, that Lisa was doing favors to get Vita Tequila distributed. The rumors Whitney brought to the show was that Lisa was doing BJs for jazz tickets and that she was doing all that stuff for like social status and everything like that. And Whitney said she heard that at one of the shows or the games or whatever. And that's when Heather was like, I didn't hear that. And that's when Whitney and Heather had their big falling out. So Whitney and Meredith brought two different sets of rumors to the show. And the ironic part is that's actually the same exact thing that happened because, again, Monica is a stalker and stalks the show. That's the same exact dynamic that happened between Monica and Meredith when it came to the Angie K rumors. Because remember, Meredith was like, oh, we don't want to talk about the husbands. We don't talk about the rumors. I know all this stuff about Angie. But again, Meredith never once said what it was, ever. When Whitney and Lisa were at, I think it was the Easter party, right? At Angie's Easter party. I think it was there. It was either there or some party, whatever it was. And Whitney was like, Monica, what was Meredith was saying she has all these rumors. Like, what are the rumors? Blah, 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 blah. And Monica was the one on camera said, oh, I've heard these rumors too. Again, Monica never said Meredith told me these rumors. Monica said, I've heard rumors too. And she said, I heard that Angie's husband has sex with men and he's cheating on her, right? But then on Watch What Happens Live, Monica said, oh, that wasn't even the rumor that Meredith was talking about. Meredith herself said, and so did the other women, whoa, we haven't heard that. That's not what I was talking about. So why would Monica say a rumor that she knew Meredith wasn't even talking about in the conversation where Whitney and Lisa were talking about Meredith saying that she knew these rumors? You got to really listen and watch, because again, Monica never said Meredith said this to her. And she told a completely different rumor than what, and she knew what Meredith was talking about apparently, because she even said, oh no, Meredith was talking about something else. So then why would Monica say that? See, same exact dynamic. Talking about Meredith and rumors, but yet Whitney bringing a completely different set of rumors to the show, and Monica bringing a completely different set of rumors to the show, but yet they keep trying to say, oh, it's Meredith bringing the rumors to the show. No, Meredith is a lawyer and she is very strategic and she's very smart. To be honest with you, Meredith has not brought a single thing to the show other than that Lisa Barlow allegedly did favors to get Vita distributed. Other than that, Meredith hasn't brought anything to the show and was talking about Lisa's SEC filings because Meredith was on her get back for Lisa's hot mic moment. But other than that, all the other rumors about Lisa, that was Whitney. All the rumors about Angie, literally all of them, was Monica. See? Okay. I then see Whitney and Monica, who just had a dry shaved her legs in the van, jump in the ocean. Salty water and razor burn are painful. Meredith approaches Angie and wants to talk it out. She admits to calling Monica since she previously mentioned the content in the DMs. Angie is annoyed that Meredith is calling her a fraud and suggesting that she has suggesting she is some bad bee. Meredith wants to reset until the next time her DMs trill and be pleasant to each other. She hilariously tells Heather and Lisa that Angie is taking a hit out on her, and I'm glad she's woken up from her self-imposed coma. Meredith shares with Lisa in the van that Brooks got signed with Ford Models. She mentioned that Brooke told Meredith to rely on Lisa since she is supportive. Monica is stewing watching these former BFFs make nice. Whitney then shares that Justin has a nice nose for going down on her. I cannot. Yeah, I agree with this writer. She says, I just cannot with this twit. That's the perfect word for Whitney. She's a twit. She then tries to elicit info from Heather, who has made it clear that she does not want to talk about her sex life or her kids. Whitney wants to be empowered and not shamed when Heather shuts her down. This is another thing, Whitney. You're the hypocrite, because if you want to be empowered about your sex life, why do you care that Heather wrote about it in her book? And she didn't write about your sex life. She wrote about the first time she met you when she was a boudoir photographer and you were her client. She wasn't talking about you and Justin's sex life by itself. She was talking about her experience and how she met you. But yet you have a problem with it. You can't have it both ways, Whitney. You are a twit. Anyway, While getting ready for dinner, Monica is getting her makeup done. Whitney comes in and takes over the chair since she clearly needs it more. Monica is stewing that she must do damage control when Meredith tries to shift the narrative. She's clearly trying to figure out her place in this group with the shifting alliances. That's the thing. You can't get in, you can't. Monica, if you haven't gotten the memo yet, the ladies tolerate you, they don't actually like you, and you don't actually fit in the group. You really aren't a fit. The ladies get all dressed up to go to dinner at a restaurant called Blue. We find out that Lisa takes the most selfies, and I thought it would be Whitney for sure. Monica talks about having a migraine, and she's clearly trying to get sympathy from Meredith. Heather shares that she was struck with facial paralysis when she was stressed out by her divorce. The van. Lisa thinks that she and Meredith are like sisters and they can move past stuff. This is the thing. Not Monica. Lisa. Oh wait, Lisa and Meredith are not hypocrites. Lisa and Meredith are friends who have been friends for many years. They happen to have had a fight, but yet they are able to move past it and get it back together. And that also goes to what I was saying the entire time. Lisa was not going after Meredith because she actually wanted to support Monica or even Angie. Lisa was going after Meredith because she was still hurt because of what Meredith did last season. And so now that I think Lisa finally got it out of her system, now she'll be able to move on because Lisa lashing out at Meredith was never about Monica or DMs or Angie. It was always about her still being hurt about what Meredith did to her. And so now that she's got that out of her system, of course she's going to be back friends with her because she got the hurt out. You see what I'm saying? Also, I have a different take on what Monica was talking about when she said she had a migraine and the left side of her face was hurting. She didn't have a migraine, her face wasn't hurting, and the other girls didn't get it. But the way I read that was Monica was shading Lisa, who was sitting next to her. Like, oh, I have a migraine. The left side of my face is like burning and I can't feel it because Lisa was on her left side. So when she was complaining about that, it was either, what's the word I'm looking for? Is it a euphemism? I think it was a euphemism when she was saying that, or a metaphor, whatever the term is, you guys. Metaphorically, she was calling Lisa the migraine and the reason why her face was burning on my left-hand side because Monica was stewing. She was so mad that her little diabolical plan was falling apart. She really thought she was going to go up on this show and manipulate and lie and divide people and set people up, and she was going to get away with all of it. She was going to be victim of the year and that she was going to take these women down. That's what she really thought in her little pea brain. But girl, the call is coming from inside the house. The jig is up, okay? That's why she got so mad when Lisa and Meredith made up because she's like, wait a minute. If they made up, then it's going to make it harder for me to blame all of this on Meredith. It's going to be harder for me not to be exposed. That's why she got so mad. Because why would Monica care if Lisa and Meredith made up? This also goes back to my conspiracy theory that I said last week when we were talking about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, when I broke down why I thought the DMs were from Monica and not Meredith. Remember I said that the reason why Monica asked Lisa to go visit her family with her was because she was trying to butter Lisa up to get her on her side, because right after she asked Lisa to take her to be the person to visit her family, when by all accounts she should have asked Heather, since Heather is the closest to her and Heather was the one who put the Bermuda trip together for her to see her family. So logic would dictate Meredith or Monica should have asked Heather. But the reason why she asked Lisa was because she knew Lisa and Meredith still had a beef. And so she was trying to get people on her side to plant the narrative that it was Meredith who was sending the DMs and doing all this stuff to get the heat off of herself because Meredith didn't take the bait the night before when she was trying to get her to say on camera all the stuff about Angie, and Meredith didn't take the bait, and she was like, I don't know what you're talking about. My DMs are full. Girl, I don't know what you're talking about. And that's when she was like, wait a minute. If Meredith doesn't take the bait, then I'm going to go down for this. And so she chose Lisa because Lisa was very vocal about how she was still hurt and pissed off and didn't trust Meredith. And I'm not sure about this friendship, blah, 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 because she was all in her feelings still. It was strategy. And then Lisa was the one who gave her, Lisa didn't mean to, because again, Lisa was just in her feelings. Lisa was the one who gave Monica the idea that Meredith was setting her up, when the truth was Monica was setting Meredith up. And you could see it in Monica's face when Lisa said, oh, Meredith's setting you up because she did the same thing to me last season. And Monica's face kind of changes, and you can tell she's kind of like spinning things. And then that's why when Angie confronted Monica, and all of a sudden Monica was like, oh, yeah, well, I didn't say this to Lisa, but I remembered that this is what Meredith said, and this is what Meredith did. Meredith called me about the DMs, and now I remember, and I'm thinking now, like, maybe she set me up, and maybe, like, blah, 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 blah. Like, I was like, girl, it's really funny how your narrative changed once Lisa said to you, oh, Meredith is setting you up, that all of a sudden your narrative changed to Meredith is setting me up. But prior to that, your narrative was me and Meredith were talking about Angie together. Which is it? Did Meredith set you up, or were the two of you together in cahoots talking about Angie? It can't be both. Which is it? See? That's what I really think was going on there. All right. Meredith quickly pivots when Monica wants resolution, and she asks what everyone has planned for their summer. Heather shares her daughter is going to Florence, and she's living vicariously through her. Lisa gets emotional thinking about Jack leaving this summer to go on his mission. She is fearful that once he leaves, he will never want to live back home again. Whitney, well, that kind of is what happened when kids grow up. Anyway, Whitney has decided to give Lisa some grace since she can clearly see Lisa does have emotions and has a legitimate reason to be sad. Whitney just wants her muse Lisa back. That's the thing. Like, everybody likes to hate on Lisa, but then they're so obsessed with her. Whitney wants to go to the oldest bar on the island, which we know will be a disaster. Angie stupidly wants to play a game, but then Heather's book is brought up. Whitney, who shockingly can read, thought that Heather talked about her sexuality openly in the book. Heather reminds Whitney that she read to her what she was going to be published and took out a part about not wearing pants at Whitney's request. So again, Whitney's being exposed as a liar and looking for a moment, and she's the actual hypocrite, not Heather. She reminds her that she was a boudoir photographer and Whitney was a sexy model who hired her for photos. Whitney needs to get her panties out of a wad since this is utter nonsense that she's upset about this. I am upset as a viewer that I thought these two cousins found each other on 23andMe, not in a cheesy photo studio. Heather tells Whitney she sounds like an idiot, making this an issue while stumbling over bar stools to run out of the bar. She calls Whitney drunk and crazy while she is running after her in the parking lot. Heather must run across the street to escape this fool, while production sprints across the street to chase Heather down. She's rude to the producer, who is paid to listen to this nonsense. Whitney thinks Heather is running from the truth, but Heather is trying to get out of earshot of that voice. Whitney must recognize she's the only one who is exploiting her vagina. That part. The season finale is the next episode, so we'll have to wait it out. Oof, you guys. Dun, 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 dun. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? So, yeah, those are my thoughts on the last episode and all the stuff going down. But at this point, I want what is talking on the phone. I want it to be Monica being exposed as the Bravo blogger behind Reality Von Tease, and that she's been the one sending all of these DMs to people, and that she tried to set up Meredith. That's what I really want to see happen. Because at this point, it needs to be that or something crazier. It can't be the beauty lab thing, and it can't be anything less than that. Because they dragged it out for your season. I thought we were going to learn about this mid-season. I've never heard of the Real Housewives having the season finale during a cast trip. Usually the season finale is at a big party, some type of huge party event, but never on a cast trip. So I don't know what's going on right now, but it is what it is, okay? So with that, you guys, put it down below what you guys think. And as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. So I'm going to drop the link in case anybody wants to come up and chat. And I will take some candy cane questions and comments in the meantime. All right, you guys, here we go. I'm just going to start. I'll start at the top. And if I miss anybody's comment, I apologize. And I'm going to get through as many as I can, okay? So Tay Tay says, first one in. Welcome, Tay Tay. Hey, Natoski says, hey, y'all. Miss T says, hello, Candy and all the canes. What is up? Natoski says, never heard of reality Von Tease. Come on, truth. Natoski says, wow. Diabolical. Barbara says, I am not surprised. Natoski says, what if Monica is the avatar? Don't bring that energy over here. Natoski says, just kidding, but this is wild. I know, right? Miss T says, we always knew something was off with Monica. We did. That's what I'm saying. Like, Candy Canes, we are the best sleuths out there when it comes to Bravo and the Real Housewives. I'm going to toot our horn for us. Toot, 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 toot. We are the best out there. We called this Monica as a fraudster since day one. Miss T says, definitely explains weird obsession with Jen Shaw. Natoski says, deranged psychopath, obsessive freak. Natoski says, how long did she work for Jen? I don't know. Got to see her CV. Natoski says, and pretended not to know them. Yup. Foxy says, I'm not surprised either. Miss T says, Bravo had to know, right? The things Bravo knows and allows, and then the things you think they should know, who the hell knows? Hey, Barbara. AC says, I hope they drag her for filth at the reunion. Me too. And remember, Heather says nothing gets resolved at the reunion. And that's when Heather said, I'll never film with her again. Miss T says, the difference is Monica was a blogger first. All the other housewives were in reality stars did it after. Very true. Foxy says, hey, lovely. Happy holidays. Natoski says, how embarrassing. Kelly says, hey, y'all. Hey, Kelly. That's right. Miss T says, love the collection for the holidays. That's right. Hey, Gossip News.
Hey, let me fix my audio.
Okay, boo-boo.
Is it better now? There we go.
Yeah, it's better now. Go ahead. Okay.
Oh. At this point, I believe that Monica's behind the DMs. Like, it's strange. I strangely have liked her, but now at this point, I don't like her no more. It's the constant lying.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know that she was still married during this season. I thought she was already divorced.
No, she didn't get legally divorced until BravoCon, which was October of this year. That's when she was legally divorced from her husband. So the entire time she's filming, she's 100% legally married to him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think you know a person. I definitely don't think Monica. Do I think Meredith may know something about Angie, but I don't think it was that rumor particular.
Wait, you mean Meredith knew something about Angie?
I think Angie did. I think Meredith did know something about Angie,
Yes,
but not about the tech stuff.
Right, exactly.
And I'm tired of Whitney and her voice.
Me too.
Because every time we have seen her, she's either on a stripper pole or she's talking about what her and Justin did as if she's not exploring her own sexuality. We don't ask for it. I think season 1, her hashtag was I'm a wild rose. And she's riled. To tell Heather that you're exploring my sexuality, when you do it yourself. The fact that you got mad because you blamed the fact that your husband got fired because of what you all did on the job, on the show, is ludicrous.
Mm-hmm.
But you let Heather write this in the book. You
Exactly. That's the
knew.
thing. That's the thing. Heather told Whitney and gave her the heads up, and then she even gave her the power to edit it. Because Heather said, you knew what was in the book, and you asked me to take out the part about not wearing pants, and I took it out. So not only did Heather give her the heads up, but she actually gave her the courtesy to edit what she said. So the fact that Whitney is now trying to say you exploited my vagina and sexuality for your book is so cuckoo. It's giving Lisa Rinna Garcelle vibes.
Yes.
That's what it's giving. Remember, Garcelle talked about her experience about what Lisa Rinna's daughter said, or something like that. Whatever, like the dancing. It wasn't even Lisa Rinna's daughter. It was about when Lisa Rinna was like dancing, and her daughter had the disordered eating, and they had a conversation about it. And
Yes.
Lisa Rinna then had threw Garcelle's book in the trash, and then Erica's evil ass posted it on her social media. And
Yes.
then Lisa Rinna threatened to sue Garcelle, and so about having her daughter in the book, and Garcelle took the part out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's giving, and Whitney's always been giving me like this. She's trying to act like an innocent fawn, and it's not working. Every season, she gets less and less innocent. And I understand now why Heather's saying that she's crazy. Because she is. For you to go in your head and rationally think, yeah, my cousin slash best friend used my sexuality as a way to hurt me in a book that I knew she was writing because Heather had said that yeah, my book's coming out soon.
Yep. One second, gossip news. Hey, Jacob. Hey, Natasha. Sorry, I didn't see you guys down there.
Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Jacob, you want to sound off?
Well, unfortunately for Whitney, the longer she stays on this show, the more she tells on herself. And I'm like, oh no, Whitney, like, you gotta stop. For example, we're supposed to believe what, right? Like how you guys were just saying, we're supposed to believe that she's upset about exploiting her sexuality. Okay, weird. And we were supposed to believe that Justin got fired from that job because of that little scene that they had. But Whitney herself earlier this season talked about how HR caught her under his desk.
Exactly.
So, first of all, we're supposed to believe that didn't get him fired. We're supposed to believe that. Okay. And we're also supposed to believe that you are mad at Heather, even though you told us about being under his desk. Who does that?
Right? I can't.
How are we supposed to believe that?
And not to mention, they not just working at the same company, but Mormon church, they both were married at the time. So not only were they both having sex in the company, but they were both adulterers and cheaters. And isn't that like one of the biggest sins in Mormons?
Absolutely.
And then they both got divorced. So if having sex at the office, if being cheaters, and if getting divorced didn't get you kicked out on a morality clause, you want to tell me a little paint by numbers scene you did on the show got you kicked off? Boy, bye. He got fired because they didn't want the smoke because of the class action lawsuit against them.
Right. I'm just like, oh no, Whitney. Like, she needs to stop talking. She really does need to just stop talking. And the weird thing is, I don't think we needed this past episode. They could have kept it, to be honest, because nothing happened. You know what I mean? Like, the plot.
I agree. That's why I only have one slide. That's why I have one slide today. Because I was like, not today, Satan. I got things to do. I was like, let me get one slide together.
Right. Like, there wasn't much. I mean, it was enjoyable enough, but I was like, is this the whole episode? I can't believe this is the finale.
It is.
It came,
because I
the
can't.
finale came real quick. But I will say
Because
this real quick,
I.
and then wait 1 second, Gossip News. I'll let you go right after this. But to Jacob's point, I think the most important thing, at least through like my candy cane lens about this episode, was Monica telling on herself.
Right.
That was the
Right.
most.
What in the Freudian
That
slip?
was the
That was
most
crazy.
telling clip when she said, "That's something I would do." I was like, "See, there you go, Monica." I
And
said
then she had that duper's delight grin on her face. It was
exactly.
creepy.
And I'm so happy that my videos are time stamped because I called this last week when we were talking about it. I said, this is what happened. I said, Monica's behind these DMs. She keeps telling on herself. She's trying to set up Meredith. It's all a lie. It's Monica. Watch. And look.
It's Monica.
It's Monica. Go Gossip News. I'm sorry I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. But I kept rewriting the episode. I'm like, this has to be. There has to be more to this than this. Because like, it wouldn't make sense. We focused this whole time on Monica exposing herself through Heather. Then we're dealing with a ship and arguing about the same thing that happened last night. Like, and now we got Heather versus Whitney. I'm like I need there to be some sort of order. It is like
It is
order
very,
and you go ahead.
Some order in the court.
Order in the court. Go Natasha.
it is just very bizarre. Like I remember like thinking like, first of all, I'm annoyed that they have been dragging this trip for this long. Like 5 episodes, stop. And like we were complaining that we had to wait to this episode for the big reveal. The fact that it didn't happen is outrageous. And it is so real that I've never seen a final episode end on a trip.
Never.
Right.
Never.
It almost seems like an afterthought, like they had to cut some stuff out or something. I don't know. And like, I don't know what it was, but I thought like we were still in mid-season for some reason.
Yeah. When it was
But
like
it's been a good season.
And then I remember I was DMing with Adam in the chat, and he was like, that's because all the episodes were boring. It feels like it's only been 5 episodes. I'm like, I was like, that was the most accurate thing I've ever heard someone say.
Really? I love this season.
But like, yeah, but like when you think about it, there are some like really nothing burger episodes that are just because there's a lot of drama, right? So like the drama, the same, like the exact same thing is just lasting a couple episodes. So we're like kind of entertained, but it just feels like one big episode. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I don't know. I thought this was.
I think it was a good season.
I think I'm definitely entertained, but like I'm definitely confused by like why I feel like this is like mid-season. I don't know. There's something strange.
You know what it is? This is what it is. I actually think it was a really good season. I do. Even though I think Monica, like I said from day one, and I love our candy cane horns over here, toot toot. But we knew from day one Monica was a fraud and a scammer, and I said, watch and look. But other than that, the reason why it seems weird is because now we want so many more answers. It seems like it shouldn't be over yet because now we're like, well, wait a minute, who's behind the DMs? Was it Monica? Was it Meredith? What's going to happen? How are they going to reconcile
we have follow-up questions.
Now we know about Beauty Lab and the lawsuit. Like, when does Heather find that out? What's happening with that? So I think the reason why it feels, because I was shocked it was the finale. I sure as hell thought we had 15 more episodes to go because now
10,
there's so many questions now. Like now it's like, wait a minute.
We don't get to
now
see the
there's
aftermath?
stuff to talk about. Now there's things to talk about. Now there's resolution that needs to happen. I do think it was a really good season. And I think that now it feels like mid-season now because there's so many questions that need to be answered. Like, why did Monica now file for a divorce from her husband? Because she only got legally divorced in October. So the entire time she's been filming, she's been 100% legally married to that man. That's why Heather called her all the way out at the dinner. And she was like, I'm the only single person at this table. You're married. That's why Heather called her out.
I wonder if the aftermath was so like, they just all immediately were like, we're not filming with her. And it was such a shock for everyone that they're like, we can't even like continue the season like this. We might as well.
I wonder.
I think production would make them. It would be like a scandal. Like you have to film. You can't say I'm not going to film with somebody. Like they would do it. And like Angie little ding dong self, she would film with Monica no matter what.
Is Angie replacing Ding Dong Dorit now,
Ding-
Oh Lord.
or is he
Don't
just
even
a new
remind
Ding
me.
Dong?
Don't get me started because I'm on one. We're doing Beverly Hills tomorrow.
Oh my
I'm
God, it's
on one
outrageous.
with Ding Dong Dorit, and I'm so proud of Garcelle. When she was
Look,
just like,
right.
she was like, I'm
I
not
was
here to
shocked.
educate you. I was
I
like,
haven't
yes.
watched it yet, but like
And
I heard, yeah.
It is so good.
Oh,
Look,
it was
And
intense.
again, we're vindicated as our candy canes because we were saying how much Dorit gives her microaggressions and her tone against
I'm
her.
exhausted from being right all the time. Like,
Me
can't we get it
too.
wrong like once
look,
in a while?
I called
I
it.
mean,
We've been
Because
talking about it.
ever since Garcelle's been on the show, we have seen Dorit throw tiny little bombshells at Garcelle.
Racial microaggressions.
it's
100%.
Yes.
microaggressions.
And the thing is, this is what I think is going on. And I'll say it again when we get to Beverly Hills. I think that Erica and Dorit are still getting their direction from Rinna.
Oh,
Because
God.
a lot of what they've been saying and a lot of how they're acting is still very reminiscent of Lisa Rinna. Like
Yeah.
even Erica Jane coming on the show and being like, Denise's fans only is $7. That sounds like something Lisa Rinna would plant and say.
I
True.
don't see
They're all
Erica
still
saying
friends
that
with
because
her.
Erica wouldn't care to do research like that.
No, Erica's
True.
trying to catch the puss in Vegas for $5.
Exactly.
Like, no.
Unless it's getting her money, she doesn't care.
And
Exactly.
Rinna did
But
tell
back
us
to this
that they all
show.
still talk.
Exactly.
But back to this show, Whitney.
Yes.
She is absolutely deranged. Like she
Unhinged.
is
She needs to
unhinged.
stop.
There is a
Unhinged.
full-blown TikTok boom going inside her as well. And but
Mhm.
it's a
She's giving
different
angry
one.
Dorinda vibes.
Or
Yes.
it's giving. I don't know.
I
It's
think
just
she's
like
just desperate to be on the show. Like I think
yes.
she was
Like when she had
struggling for storyline.
that monologue, that like performative monologue
Oh God,
against Heather. And like she
that was
chased
too
that
much.
Heather was not even like in the scene anymore. She was around the corner
She was
and she
gone.
still insists. She goes, "Nope, I have some more lines I have
Yep.
to say." And then she practically like looks over at the camera and smiles like, "I nailed it. I just know it."
Yep.
Like
was
it
so
was out of control. It's like, go home,
Yep.
Whitney.
It was like
Go to a
end
mental hospital.
scene. End
She is
scene.
and scene. Thank you.
That was
It,
my
See,
monologue audition for this year's Wicked. Thanks.
right? It was
see,
so
see,
bad. And that's
see.
why Heather was
I
like, get out of my face. You are absolutely deranged. You've lost your mind. You're scary. I don't want to even be around you. And she's like, I have more lines. It's so crazy.
Oh,
see. I'm looking at Whitney like Whitney. You said a couple nights ago that you would kick Heather behind because you've been taking contact. She said she was been taking some sort of martial arts. I'm like
right.
Whitney.
Meanwhile, she gets tossed every time.
I'm like Whitney. Last season, Heather threw you in. She pushed you against a
like you were a
window.
whole rag doll blowing in the
She
wind.
lifts you up and pushed you into a window, and you stood there shocked. And
She
you
really
talking
did.
about, oh, I can beat Heather.
Heather
I
would
know. I'm
demolish
taking my
Whitney.
heart.
She would do that thing where it's like that you put your hand on somebody's head and Whitney's just like trying to swing and she
She
hits
wouldn't.
air.
Yeah, she would like give her a
A
noogie or
mess.
something.
Yes, she'll be pushing. Look, no, she'll be literally grabbing Whitney by the head, being like, "Whitney, stop it,
Oh
stop it."
yeah, like
And
when you
Whitney,
hold the front of their head and they're swinging and you just hold it away from them. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking
look,
about.
and then
Like you do to
Whitney's
little
like,
kids.
look, and Whitney's like, "Let me go, let me ask you." And Whitney has like, "Okay," and she just literally like
She's like swinging.
pushes
She's like,
her
I can
back.
take her. I promise. I can take her. Like this little kid voice also I find very extremely creepy and deranged and almost like creepy, sinister. Like remember that that one like story of that girl pretending to be a child who was from Ukraine and then she tried
Oh
to
Oh
like
yeah,
take
the
over the
yes,
orphan.
family. Like
Oh,
that
the
she's
movie.
giving like a weird I don't know, there's something off and sinister with her. I just sense darkness in her. Like it's just an
Oh,
energy thing. I don't have any proof, but something is really off and creepy about Whitney. Like something
hmm.
like poor like Justin, I feel like he's not like the like he's probably a scammer, but he's probably like
Oh,
scared.
I think
Like he's
Justin's scared too. That's why I'm always like, Justin, wink twice if you need us to
yeah,
come
like
get you.
please blink
And you
twice,
know what it is with
Justin.
Whitney? She can't focus her eyes.
Yes.
Did
No,
you ever notice
I
that?
don't
Her
trust
eyes
she
people
are
with
cannot.
always
dart. It's
rolling.
always
She can't
darting.
focus.
Yeah, they're
Yeah, it's
always darting
weird.
around like a serial killer. I'm like, what is going
Yes.
on?
Also, can I just say this? I felt bad for Angie getting a chair pushed in her direction, and then Heather gets pushed into her. I'm like, I'm like,
Well, Angie
Angie.
should have moved. Angie should have moved.
Maybe
I look at Angie.
Who would have thought that was going to happen, though?
True,
I
true,
didn't
I
think
wouldn't have
about it.
expected that.
but I am
true.
I'm,
genuinely shocked by I had no idea about like her having a whole blog. That is absolutely
Hmm.
insane. She is obsessed with this
I
woman. She
told
came on
y'all.
the level of scheming and plotting, like that takes someone who is not mentally well. Like she is not fit to be a member of the show.
This
Like
is the thing.
no.
If I was the producers, I would be worried about because I mean, like all Kiki aside, all shade aside, when you really look at Monica's behavior, like obviously this is like alleged and all that fun stuff. If it turns out that this is actually true, what she has actually done is very scary. The level that she
Right.
has infiltrated these women's lives, going after Beauty Lab, going after Heather, targeting Jen Shaw, infiltrating herself into Jen Shaw's life, taking all of the
targeted,
videos,
manipulating,
creating the
stalking.
Instagram accounts and the Twitter's accounts, and then actually getting cast on the freaking show, and then lying to everybody about who she is, and then sending the DMs and setting people up. This is some actual like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs psycho situation.
This sounds like a
Right.
And
full-time job what she was
I would
doing.
be very worried about whatever legal liability would be if Monica really snaps and pops off or does something truly unhinged.
Right. Because
Exactly.
I'm sitting here like I don't think we ever had a housewife that's gone this far.
No.
No, this is insane. Hey, Candor. No, this is insane. When you really break it down, because I know like we're having like a fun like kiki about it, but in
No, it's really
reality,
scary. It's actually
this is
scary.
some super stalker behavior.
This is like FBI open up, you're scary.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is some like true crime podcast in the making.
Yeah.
Like we are going to
This
be
is
watching
like
like an episode
go
of
and witness
Snapped, Monica
protection.
Garcia.
Yikes.
Like it's going to be something.
But
the
wait a
fact
minute.
that she was able to get cast on the show is scary.
It
But
is
wait,
because
so
Yeah,
I
it
is she
reminds
the
me of
one?
that serial killer
Wait,
that was in that
wait.
dating show.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Go, Jacob.
Is she? So wait a minute. Is she
Mhm.
the one that released that video of Jen screaming in downtown Salt Lake City?
We're speculating, but we think.
That's what the allegations are. That it was because remember Monica
And the
was
designer.
in the designer
Yeah,
stuff
she's
because
behind all the
because she was Jen Shaw's assistant, and now that the same exact designer is using Monica as his muse. She's been wearing his designs, and he designed her reunion dress. And then also, let me see if I still have the receipt.
How are you telling on yourself this much?
This much. And then Murillo Bueno, who used to be another former Jen Shaw's assistant, he also is coming out and saying Monica is the one who's behind the blog account. He said, who remembers that blog, Reality Von Tease, on Instagram? I'm sure Monica does. Stay tuned.
I mean, I don't remember it, but
I don't remember it, but there's a lot of blogs out there, right? There's a lot of whatever.
I don't remember it all.
I personally don't remember it, but at the same time, this is super scary. Like if she really went this deep and this far,
that's interesting,
to infiltrate herself in these women's lives. Like she's literally in a lawsuit. An actual
That's
lawsuit
why I was like,
with
what if
Heather.
he's the Avatar, the Monica the Avatar? I was like, oh my God.
No, Monica the Avatar looks very different.
I know.
Remember when she got exposed?
That was so anticlimactic too. I was like, wait, that's it?
I was like, that's what she looks like? Well, I get why she uses the Avatar. No shame, no shame, but let me not even conjure her.
Right, yeah,
let me just leave that alone.
We need to stay
yeah, we need to
no
stay
weapons
positive
formed against
good
us.
energy.
Thank
good
you.
energy.
Like see I'm now concerned because if Monica's this manipulative, this now means this whole ploy of between her and her mom has been an act this whole entire time.
See, I don't think it was an act.
I think it started as, hey, we're going to do this on this show. And then it was off to the races for Monica, at least.
And she went off script.
Yeah, that's what I think.
See, because I felt like her mom had a game plan. When the mom got on the show, Monica went way left, and the mom's sitting there like,
wait, yeah, what are you doing?
like, wait, this is
I
not
thought
what
we
we
were going
agreed to.
here.
Like, I thought that,
Right.
you and me were gonna be famous together. I got people now hating me on social media,
Mm-hmm.
and like
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't even think the mom cared about being famous with the daughter. I think her mom was just doing her a favor by like, yeah, I'll film with you and whatever.
I think so too. Yeah.
But I think the moment that this is where I think it went left was the Easter dinner. When Monica got
Yes.
so out of control, her mask slipped, and she really showed who she was. She was cussing her mom out, disrespecting her, throwing shoes. Remember when it was they said that it was cut out, producers didn't show it, but Monica was throwing shoes and it almost hit some of the kids. And I think that Monica
like
got
we're saying
so
that joking,
out of
but when you
pocket.
think about how scary and crazy that is, it's
that
really
is very
wild.
scary and very unhinged and very unhealthy. And I think that she got so out of pocket there that Monica thought the only way out of this is to throw my mother under the bus and become the victim. And that's what she did. And that's why I was just like, Monica, girl, you lying. Your mom is not this mean, toxic person you're trying to make her out to be. Use a lie. Your mom is a victim, just like everybody else in your orbit.
Candy.
She needs to validate that she needed a reason to just to validate that crazy behavior, so she decided to throw her mom under the bus.
100%.
Sorry, Candor. Go.
Just because Monica doesn't have free tequila to give you does not mean to say you're going to throw it. Okay?
Listen,
the thing is, everyone,
this YouTube channel. Wait, hold on, Candor. This YouTube channel is not sponsored by Vita Tequila. However, if it wants to sponsor me, Lisa, you can email me. It's in the description box. And I will tell everybody it will be a sponsored post. If you want to send me some tequila, send it to me, girl. But I am not paid by anybody.
Can I point out as well? Whitney Rose has also given her some of her products. Meredith has given her a sauna so she can lie in a bath. And also, Heather has given her Big Bad Mormon. So she's targeting poor Monica and poor Angie because Angie says, you're not getting a free haircut from us, Candy. When you leave this woman alone, you're like the plague. Anything at all, and it's like, let's rip her apart. She's
you're just the contrarian.
I'm going to put this out. I'm going to put this out.
You know me.
If it was not for this woman, this show would be on its last legs. And I'm sorry, these fake heifers lined up here want to be thanking this woman because she has made this show current now. And she has. Even Jen Shaw couldn't make it current. And she was going, this woman has put it on the map. And this disrespect about Angie Kay. No. Angie Kay did a good job as a housewife for her first season.
She did. No, Candor, now you're really going left.
No, she has. You've got the likes of Whitney standing there, and I'm just like, Whitney, bye. You've got Heather wanting to be in Lisa's for JJ, bye. And then you've got Meredith, I'm too ill and they won't give us a bath.
I'm too ill.
They won't let me bath. Like, I mean, who does that? You call these friends and I can't give a bath. Grow up, Meredith.
Oh my God, time out. Did you see that Renaissance picture of that woman dying in a bed? Like, it's very famous, and someone put that and compared it to Meredith, and it literally looked identical.
I'm going to say this. Candy, you're going to fall down on your ass. I'm going to say this. Lisa Barlow has grown on me over a period of time.
Yes! Finally!
And you know what's crazy?
But the
Candor.
reason is it's because she's starting to show her actual true self bit by bit, and she called Meredith out as well. Because I don't think all of these housewives have got burner accounts. You got to be pretty stupid to think these are all squeaky clean.
But
No,
Candor.
of course they have
This is
burner
nothing
accounts. Everybody
new.
has a burner
Candor.
account, but they're not sending DMs to people under said burner accounts to spread fake news on the show and then trying
Fake
to
documents
say
and crazy.
Oh,
fake
Yeah.
documents
please.
and then
These
trying
would
to set
these
each other up.
these would run
That's
anyone under the bus just to stay on the bloody show. They're that desperate for money and fame. Jesus Christ.
But
Heather was a blow up. Whitney was a blow up. Because they
but
had nothing
can
to start with. The thing is, and they downgrade and look at Monica as though that she's trash. The thing is, Monica is doing the do. She is doing what needs to be done. She has brought season to life. Whether you like it or not, Monica is the defibrillator for
You know
politics.
what? You
I
know
don't know
why I
about
don't
all
Sounds
agree with that,
poetic.
Xander? You know why I don't agree with that? I think that Monica just
because it's not true.
there's a
I'm just
difference
kidding.
because it's A, it's not true, and B, there's a difference between hijacking a show and
Yes.
elevating the show.
Thank you.
Monica hijacked the show, which is very, very different.
Infiltrated.
No,
Infiltrated and
Jen
hijacked,
Shaw
which is
hijacked
very,
the
very
show.
different. Because the thing
Jen
is,
Shaw
you can't.
hijacked the show.
No,
She
no.
sucked the
I'm
life
gonna
out of the show.
wait,
Monica
Candor.
came on and
Candor,
shown
let me
every one of
respond.
these women what they are.
Oh my god, Candor, let me respond.
Candor. She has a blog that she's like stalking this woman. Like this
Yeah.
isn't the same thing. Let's.
But wait, I'm
That's
gonna give
not
you.
the-
I'm gonna
that's
give you.
the only
No, I'm
one.
gonna give you a very specific analogy to explain the difference.
Come on,
okay?
analogy. Let's do this.
This is the analogy.
Oh Lord,
It's
Shout
not
out,
you.
shout out to Real Housewives of New Jersey. It's an analogy.
Right,
Okay.
not an
You know,
analogy.
you know.
Love
You know,
it.
you know. You know, you know. This is the difference. Monica hijacked this season. We don't actually know if the season would have been good or bad or way better or way worse because she hijacked it. That's very different than, in my analogy, I would say season 10 Vanderpump Rules, where the season was so good only because we watched it retrospectively through the lens of Scandival, where we can definitively say if it were not for Scandival, the season would have flopped. It would have sucked. It would have been dead. It would have been flat because they'd already recorded it. So you can't say that Monica saved the show when we actually don't know how the show would have went if it were for not Monica.
Would it have been Heather Black Eye number 2? And
We
no
don't
one's-
I hope not.
But
I hope not.
I
We
will
don't
That's,
say.
that's the route it would have went, and it would have been Meredith.
So
And
just
now I
because
have- now I
Monica
have
hijacked
platforms.
the season doesn't mean she
Lisa,
saved the
I
show.
got a new branded tequila out. Boring.
But
The-
hey,
the
I
thing
thought you
is- the
liked her
thing is,
now.
I'm gonna point this
Because
out. I'm
this
gonna
is a
point this
season
out.
of change, Candor.
No,
Because
let
guess
me point
what?
this out.
You
Let me
know,
point
you
this
know
out.
that
This is the
I've
rebuttal
always
to
never liked
Candy.
Heather.
No, this is the rebuttal to Candy. It's funny how everything has to revolve around Monica, and I'll tell you why. Because none of these can hold up a bloody story. And if
That's
it
the
wasn't for
definition
Monica,
of
none
hijack.
of these women.
You
No.
proved my
I'm
point. That's the definition of
I need to
hijack.
finish my sentence. I need to finish my sentence. Monica has brought these women to life. These robots have been activated because of Monica.
I don't
Tell
think
me I'm
you're
wrong.
wrong.
Well, this
I
must
Tell
be
me
don't
I'm
the
think
wrong.
she
season.
hijacked the
Well,
season.
this must
She
be
Tell
the
me I'm wrong
definitely
because
season
we're
of
not watching the
change.
same
but
show.
Fa
she
la
definitely
la.
hijacked
Christmas
it,
season
but
of change
it was
because
enjoyable.
I actually don't mind Heather this season, and she's actually growing. And we all know I've been very anti Heather for the longest
I
time,
love Heather.
but now she's growing on me. I like her
too.
with Lisa. I'm
I
like,
think
yes,
Heather some
Me too.
changes.
Me too. I
Huh.
love Heather and
I
Lisa.
like this new team. Yes.
Hey,
Well,
Emmanuel.
of course you're gonna like. Of course you're gonna
Hey.
like Heather because she's friends with Lisa. The
It's
thing
coming to your
is,
senses, my friend. It's coming to
the
your
thing
senses.
is,
I
Exactly.
appreciate everyone coming to their
chooses.
senses.
And I do think Heather is a hypocrite because she talks about everyone else's sex lives, but she won't talk about her own.
That's
on.
not true. And if you were
She's making
listening,
money
I
off
gave
other people's
Candor,
sexual experiences. Come on. Come
I love you.
on.
You're so
Candor, we're
mature.
going to need you to
And
go a little
but
deeper
that,
because you've
but that is.
explained this
Wait a
several
minute. Wait a
times.
minute. That is factually not true. Heather has talked about her sex life a lot on this show. She talked about wanting, the black D. She was trying to hook people on the show. Heather has talked a lot about her sexuality on the show. What she said was, I'm not
You won't
talking to
take the
this
money
chick
straight off.
about my sexuality, and I'm not talking about my
Don't
daughter's
you let every other
sexuality.
housewife talk
Those are
about when they've
very,
had
very
sex.
different things. Those are
She's let
very different
every other housewife talk about when they've had sex.
Okay,
And
Candor is
like,
off the rails, and he's
Mm-mm.
getting all of us
she
riled
acts
up.
like,
The black
acts
bee.
like
That's what she
little
said.
Miss Saint.
I'm not making this
Morning.
up.
This
This is
No,
what
I know.
Heather
I
said.
know.
This is what she said. She
This
wanted the black
is
tea.
woman is
I
twisted.
know.
She is not a bad Mormon. She is just
So
twisted.
people being
Can-
like,
Into
oh,
the
Heather
night.
doesn't talk
Candor is
about
an agent of
sexuality
chaos.
because of her religion. Miss me with that fake narrative.
Well,
She
she
has
did
been
have a
on
one
there
night stand
season
her
after
first
season.
season, right?
They
She went home
use
with
the
that guy,
religion when
right?
it suits, like
Exactly.
most people do. But the thing is, you can't come after Monica. I see what Monica's mother wrote, and which mother does that? Like,
Mhm.
seriously? Like,
Emmanuel. Let's give Emmanuel a chance.
Yeah,
Go,
we need a
Emmanuel.
break.
Okay, so let me start by saying, as I put in the comment earlier, Whitney is reaching and she's overreacting when it comes to Heather and what she put in the book. I think Whitney exploits herself. Every time there's a pull, she's got to be up in there, upside down, spreading her legs. So
Mhm.
she does that herself. And let's not forget that little scene with the paint and all that.
Yep,
It's
yeah.
cringy. And I think it's definitely a reach. I think for Heather not wanting to share who the last person she was intimate with and things about her daughter, I don't even think it's about religion. I just think it's about
Common sense.
common sense, class, morals. I mean, who asks
Healthy
those type of
boundaries.
questions?
Exactly.
Monica
are you
is
telling me you weren't turned on by Heather rolling around with a fat husband in clay?
What?
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 Anyway, Emmanuel, keep going.
Yeah.
Okay, I
I can't even keep a straight face.
What
here.
show are you
I don't
watching?
know what show Canda's
Anyway,
watching.
right?
Anyway,
Anyway,
Emmanuel, keep
Manuel.
going.
I can't wait for the finale because it looks like it's going to be really good. I can't wait for Heather to kick Monica the hell out. And I'm glad that they're going to expose her because I never trusted this chick from the moment she set foot in the scene because
Exactly.
I don't trust someone who slept with their brother-in-law. I don't
That's what.
trust someone who brings their mother on because let's be clear, she brought her mother on. Like that's how she filmed the scenes with her. So for her to just bring her on to embarrass her and humiliate her in front of the entire world is out of I can't even
Didn't
put it
Heather
in my
bring on
mind.
her father and show his alcoholism as a storyline? Didn't Heather want to bring on her mother about the Mormon stuff? Come on, Emmanuel.
Do
You
you
can't.
think that if Heather would have brought her mom, she would have disrespected her
It's
the way
insane to
Monica
compare
Probably.
did?
Monica to any of these
Yeah, you
characters
can't
when she's
compare.
No.
absolutely diabolical.
Yeah.
These women would sell sand to Arabia if they could. Like, seriously. Like, what the hell?
Well,
But
the
do
No,
thing
I
you
is,
think that Monica
do you
is.
honestly not
I
see
think
Wait,
like the
she's
wait,
a
wait, wait.
difference?
scammer.
Jacob was talking. Go, go. Wait,
I'm
go,
not.
Jacob.
I mean, I think she is a a schemer scammer, but I enjoy her immensely.
Exactly. She's
I say keep her
fantastic.
on.
This is what
Although
Salt Lake needed.
I think I would
A menace,
prefer
a
if
whole menace.
someone were.
Yes.
I'd prefer if she were replaced by like a I don't know someone a little bit more genuine. That would be nice, because at this point she kind of I don't know. She comes off to me like a Brandy Glanville type of character, where it's like she's just there, which
Mhm.
is fine. Um, I would like more, but I mean, listen, if this will keep the show on the air for more years to come, all right, Monica.
Exactly.
You know
You've
what
got,
it is?
you've got
I
to see
wouldn't
the
have.
show for what it is. She's there to bring some sort of entertainment, whether you like it or not. She has made the use of this, and she's been the most activated housewife this year in housewife history. And she
Oh,
has.
Candor,
You
you got to stop with the housewife.
Yeah, you
Monica,
got
I
housewife
give this
boy
woman
bye.
credit.
Unfortunately,
the only
Housewife
thing she
history.
gave was
Come on
cluster
now.
B
Come on
personality
now.
disorder, like cluster B
but
No,
personality
unfortunately,
no,
I
no,
disorder.
think
no.
but
she's
let
talked
me
I
say
give
about
this
this
woman
though.
credit
Allegedly.
where it's due. She's done her job. She's doing what she needs to do,
She
regardless of
is
what
doing a
anyone
job. I'll
says.
tell. I can agree with that. She is doing a job, but my thing is, um, at what cost? Like, cause
Right.
Exactly.
I don't
I
think
Yes.
she's
mean,
perfect,
I
by
know.
the way. I don't
Well,
think
I know.
she's far from perfect, but she's
Oh
doing what
yeah.
those housewives should have been doing seasons ago.
But let
Oh,
me tell you this,
absolutely.
You know
Candor,
what it is?
because
I agree with all that. I don't know when it comes to selling your family out and selling your best
Mhm.
friends out. I'm just like,
That
Is it
part.
worth
Sleeping
it?
with your brother-in-law
Mhm.
for 18 months and lying to everyone
Well,
during that
I'm
time.
you
sorry,
know what?
if my brother-in-law was hot, I'd sleep with him too. I'd say, this one better.
I mean,
And
I don't think
lie to all your
Biggest
loved
favour.
ones in the process.
And
Okay.
destroy your family.
Tell
probably.
us how you really feel.
It shows how good he is as a husband if he's sleeping with your sister-in-law. She did that woman a
Oh
favour.
Lord.
Bye.
No, she destroyed
Candor,
her
stop.
family with
So
that.
she
Wait,
did
go
all that.
Emmanuel.
She
What
did
did
that
you want to say?
betrayal from the goodness of her heart. Come
I
on.
think
Yeah.
no, like she destroyed her family doing that. And also, why is she like when she was on the phone with her daughter? Why is she trauma dumping on like a 12-year-old?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Well,
weird.
weird.
And
That's what I
I
don't
said the
agree
same
with.
thing.
the question I would ask you, Kendra, is okay. Yes, crazy is always interesting to watch on television, but would you want to film with someone who was like backstabbing you the entire time,
Yeah, no
pretending
one
to be
wants to film
friends
with
with
her.
you, and little did you know she was suing you? She had fake accounts about all of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's so
wouldn't,
creepy.
I would never want to be alone
Yeah.
in a room with her. Period.
right?
And
If
that's the
Monica,
thing. Oh, go
Mhm.
ahead.
If Monica told me the sky was blue, I would doubt it.
Yeah, I'd
Oh,
be like,
That
okay,
part.
so it's not blue, but might be something else. Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's the problem with Monica isn't that
These are just
no, the problem with Monica is like there's levels to it. Like, yes, a lot of housewives are like, frauds. They say they have money when they don't, bankruptcies, blah, 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 fake businesses, da 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 da. It's what Monica has done and hidden that makes it different to me. It hits different when you literally have different accounts and personalities and you have different identities, like your Monica Fowler going to Heather's beauty lab, and then that leads up to an actual lawsuit. You're countersuing for $50,000 against her. Like you are infiltrating Jen Shaw's life and becoming her assistant and like leaking stuff,
And
filming her
secretly
without,
betraying her.
yeah,
Yeah.
filming her. Like Jen Shaw, of course, we know she's horrible and what she did. But then for Monica to infiltrate her life, become her assistant, and then secretly tape her, allegedly, secretly tape her, and then create these fake accounts and leak her and tries to expose her, only then to turn around and try to become her and get herself cast on the show. It's very scary.
Scary.
It's very
Like that's what I'm
genius,
saying.
really.
Like it's not genius, it's evil
She
genius at
did
this
what
point.
Jen
it's
Shaw couldn't
evil.
do.
Candor
It's
at this
scary.
point, I wouldn't be
There's
surprised if
She
different
did
Candor was
what
a
levels.
Jen
friend.
Shaw could never do.
I know. I'm like, Candor, like,
Wait,
do you
At
know
this
Monica?
point,
Like,
I
is
wouldn't
she
be I
like,
imagine
wouldn't be
are
surprised
you
if
dating by Monica?
Candor's like
I'm
a fan.
confused.
Candor's like a fan of Jeffrey Dahmer, probably. Like at this
It's
point, like
crazy.
no, I
he's
thought it was clever
like
what he did to her.
what is going
No,
on
Candor,
here?
No,
because it's not because
that's
this is the thing. If
no.
Monica just came on the show and it was just her doing the most and being extra and playing victim and blah 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 blah, the usual spiel that housewives do. Oh, she's actually broke. Surprise, surprise. They're all broke. Like, who cares? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was just that, no problem. But to me, it's the years of this single white female infiltrating these people's lives and lying about it. Like, did production know she was this blogger?
It's
You know what I'm
psychotic.
saying?
It's the
Like,
time and
those
I
are the
effort
like
wonder.
required.
that's what I'm
The
saying, where
time
it's
and
like,
effort
And
required just shows how
and like
deranged
and
she
like
is.
how much
don't
did
know
she
what's
lie?
going
How
on.
much did she lie to get on the show? And how much
How,
did she scheme?
how do
Like
you know she lied? What
that's
Candy?
what I'm talking about. Not the kiki fun stuff we laugh about, but when you actually look at what she really did, it's very, very disturbing.
The thing is, though, Candy, you don't know what production knows, and you don't know what production does. Half of these stories are made up by production to get these women's storylines. So let's be real if we're going to be real.
Yeah,
I
but I
reckon,
don't think production knew
I
that
don't think
she
production knew
was in
either.
a lawsuit
why,
with Beauty
why,
Lab.
why did this
Unfortunately,
company? No, no, no. Let's get back to the meat and
because
bones of this.
they don't know
Let's
much.
go.
It seems
Why did
we
this
Agreed. I
company?
agree with Jacob.
over
I
the
think
years. I'm
Why
like,
did
why
this
did
company
production
take
not know
on?
this?
Why did this company
exactly.
take on Monica, knowing that she was Jen's assistant who was going against her in court?
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
waiting.
Tanner, what are you talking about? Duh, everybody knew that. That's not the point.
I'm waiting. Production knows what they're doing.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I think production knew what they were doing only because I think she only got cast on the show because
She was Jen's
she
assistant.
was right. I think
Yeah.
that's the only reason.
Just
I
give
don't
them
think that I don't
credit.
think they knew half of it. They didn't know. I don't think they knew any of this stuff. I don't think they knew anything about a
agree.
blog. I don't think they knew anything because, hello, they cast Jen. They didn't know that she was doing all this dirt. They didn't
Exactly.
know that. I don't even think they knew. I'm pretty sure that they didn't know that she didn't own that house because I think she told everyone that she did own it. I
Exactly.
mean, sometimes production it gets it real right, and we've seen it over the years where
And
we're like,
I still
okay,
don't know where
production, what was
Liz
that?
Barlow
I
lives.
agree.
I still
I
don't
agree
know
with
where
what
Liz
Jake.
Barlow lives. It's
But
always
I will say,
I agree with what Jacob said. I think he's spot
but
on.
I will
Wait,
say,
I
I
missed it.
think
My phone
production's
just cut
very
out.
happy. Oh, well, no. All I was saying was that production sometimes we know that they sometimes hit it out of the park, and then other times we all sit here like, oh, production, what was that?
Yep.
But
They're like,
it's
we didn't know.
right, right. But oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. But I do think that for
Jacob.
this season,
Jacob, you know,
production is giving Monica 2 thumbs up. I think they're giving her 2
yeah,
thumbs up. That's what I think.
Jacob, you know, and I know production are eating this up and loving this.
Oh, absolutely. But I
They,
don't think they
she
planned
has,
on it.
she
I
has
don't think they
made this
planned on it. They
show.
were like, oh
She's,
shoot.
she's melted the snow in Salt Lake City because all these women have had to jump up and be activated. Now, these thought they were going to get another season of just laying back and being fake. No. Monica
Yeah,
is
Kander, but when it comes to the
women.
point where you say I'm not gonna film with her no matter what, that's
Well,
where things
I just said to have it
messed up.
bad. You've gotten what you want
Monica
out of the show.
Monica's a whole
Bad.
menace. She's literally a danger to society.
Heather,
This is
you're
like
all
actually
something like
real
that.
danger.
Bye.
This isn't like petty drama danger. She is actually a danger to
Oh,
society.
God, she is
She
Right.
not.
knows no bounds.
She
She's
is not
willing to
going around
lie,
killing
cheat,
people. She is
steal.
not
It
But
trying to
doesn't
do all
I
matter.
that.
think
This
that
is so
she's
over the top.
they are
She's
definitely
a
gonna
woman
make
doing her
her film
job.
with them. I think that they're gonna somehow. I don't know how it's gonna work, but something's gonna happen where they have to film with her. Because I think about Jersey with this past season, no one wanted to film with Louis, and in turn they were a little afraid of Teresa as well, and they filmed the whole season just now, and they're all still on it. So it's like they're gonna force it.
Yes. It's just a
They
reach
they
out.
will force it. I don't know how because I don't think we've seen it where there's actual like lawsuits and you're a fan account and you're
Yeah,
trying to
this is a different
pretend that I
level.
filed bankruptcy. I think
Yeah.
she did a lot this season, like a lot, in a
Mhm.
good and bad way.
The
Like
infiltration is just
what?
creepy.
I
Yeah,
just don't
and
know
like
how she's gonna
mhm.
stay and how it's gonna
There's a
make
creep
sense.
level that the other situations didn't have.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It is
Like the
creepy.
thing with
No, it
Monica
actually is.
is she took it. It's a different. It's apples to oranges. You know what I mean with what Monica did. It's a different level of cuckoo for cocoa puffs, and even her little message that she did on Instagram was absolutely crazy, where she called herself insane and made herself the victim. Like,
And
girl,
do you
hi,
know when someone's
girl,
trolling?
hi.
What's the girl
All
that's like
Monica
friends
has
with the
done is trolled
Joker?
everyone. She doesn't care. This is part of the show. She doesn't care. It's trolling people. Are you
Absolutely. No,
fuckers?
I think that. Yes.
She
But
taking the poster child of everything what's wrong. She's literally taken the mick out the whole lot of years, the way you all go on. Like,
Don't
oh
you
my
understand?
God.
no,
She hasn't taken
she
anything,
is doing
sweetie.
her
We're
job.
just
But my
acknowledging reality.
no, absolutely. She is
These are
doing
two
her job and she
investors.
has us activated. But my thing is, Monica, are you gonna be back? Like, did you go too far? That's what I'm like,
Exactly.
hello, are you gonna be on next
Hello?
season? Because
The only time you go too fast when you kill
I
someone.
want her back, but I don't know how she's gonna come back.
The only
Yeah.
time you go too fast.
They're all gonna sit in a room and be like, "You were a creep stalking us when you weren't even on the show, and you were all like plotting and lying and trying to infiltrate and be
See, this
fake
is why
friends
I
with us."
believe that she did do
And
that
now
with
we got to be in a
Crenshaw.
room and pretend like you're gonna be
Oh,
coming
yeah.
on our group trips now. Like, absolutely not.
See, the
I
issue
believe that she did put that stuff in her name for Jen. I think that
100%.
absolutely
Yeah.
because
That's why she can't.
it's
That's why she can't get a
that's
car loan, and her mom. She has to put the car in her mom's name.
yeah. Well, we know her credit. You know that she has about 10 to 15 open lawsuits at this time, right?
In
Against
like different names.
Against her. Well,
Woo!
they're all under
Very
Monica's
popular with
house.
the audience, isn't she?
No, but she has 10 to
Everyone loves a bit of
15
Monica.
lawsuits because
Candor is
of
Monica's new PR.
Oh no! It's like credit cards. It's a couple banks for some loans, and not big amounts, like 1,500. 900. Now look, if I had that much against me, I pay it just boom, boom, boom. Why couldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I'm just like, Monica, you have lawsuits. So it's not, I don't think production knew about that either, just saying.
Exactly.
Because I don't think they knew her real name.
No.
Once again, who is Garcia? That's what I'd like to know.
There you go.
That's
what I'm
it's
saying.
her
Like,
father's
she
name.
is a different type. She's a different type of fraud, because like even the other housewives who have done fraud, it's almost like the white collar crimes, like Teresa, the taxes with her husband and scamming the government. Okay. Erica and Tom Girardi, the Ponzi scheme. Okay. We get it. You know what I mean? Like, Kyle and Mauricio defrauding real estate people. Okay. We get it. But Monica is like defrauding the people on the cast. Which is
it's awkward.
And everyone
something that we've never seen before. Like, she scammed Heather and Heather's business. Like, she infiltrated Jen Shaw's actual life and then recorded her and tried to expose her on a burner account. Like, we've never seen a housewife defraud the other cast members.
True, but I love it.
Like, she allegedly stole Lisa's ring.
She infiltrated a woman what tried stealing of how many pensioners? Oh, Monica's so bad.
Like, I'm not saying that these people.
A little creepy, no?
That's what I'm saying. It's creepy.
It's creepy on a personal level. And I'm worried for you, Candor, if you don't find this creepy. Like, I think you need to,
I think Monica should be the next.
You should be worried about who you're surrounding yourself with, because your red flag detector isn't coming up on this one.
Candor just likes to be contrarian. He likes to rile us up.
I think Monica should be the next Jessica Fletcher on Murder, She Wrote, because her detective skills on news are amazing.
Candor, how dare you? How dare you? I am the next Jessica B. Fletcher, okay?
I don't know.
I am the next Jessica B. Fletcher.
Is that Murder, She Wrote lady?
Yeah, that's Murder, She Wrote, yes.
Listen, I like Monica, but a detective, we're detecting all this stuff.
Because that girl won't be creating evidence. She won't be fighting it. She'll be like,
this is Candy She Blogged, okay? This is Candy She Blogged. This is what we're doing, all right?
You should have an avatar of you with like an old-fashioned like typewriter and be like, Candy She Blogged.
A magnifying glass.
Yeah.
I know.
The thing is, Adam made a comment before saying I'd sleep with my brother-in-law. I want to fact check that. I would not sleep with him. I would not sleep with him because he's not good enough to sleep with. He's just
going to do a quick fact check.
Well, what about that thing that came out that talked about who he is and where he worked? I was like, oh God. Like,
he was a police officer, which I fully believe was her like leak that she claims, if that is true.
Oh, I don't believe that at all. Please. Oh no. But yeah, no, I'm just like, oh God. Like, now this other man's being in the press now. Like, he didn't ask for that.
Everyone she gets close to, like 99% of them, she like completely, utterly betrays them in like a huge way. She's a menace. She's scary.
I'd like to hear more from that girl.
Her poor children, honestly.
Tanisha. Like, I want to hear more from Tanisha.
I'd like to hear her say, give us some more stories and some more screenshots.
Trauma dumping on her teenage child like that, like Emmanuel Sell, that wasn't healthy at all.
We see that a lot, I think, huh?
We do see it a lot.
A little interesting. Like, I'm wondering how often does that happen in real life for just general public?
Like for a teenager to have to be her mom's therapist and comforter, that's like a lot.
I mean, it's like Gia and Teresa from day one. Gia was like, I wake up in the morning. Like, you know what I mean? Like, this poor little girl.
Yeah,
like,
that was upsetting.
That was very upsetting.
We all laugh at that song, but that was like literally a cry for help.
Poor thing. Like, it's not good. But the thing with Monica also, if you look at all of her personal relationships, she villainizes and smears people who have done nothing wrong to her. Like, look at what she did to her mother, but not just her mother, her ex Michael. She was on the show acting acting like he had abandoned them. She was a single mom. She was destitute. She didn't have any money trying to raise these kids on her own. And he just deserted his whole family. And that turned out to be a huge lie. Number one, they were still legally married. Number two, he was still financially providing for her and the children. And number three, he was still very present in their lives. He just worked out of town at that point, but he was still a very present father who was providing for his family. Just because they weren't romantic,
Right.
he didn't abandon them. So that whole entire storyline was a lie.
It was. And
Come
you
on,
know
fact
what?
check.
Look, and we know whose name that house is in. It's in his name. And the thing is, you hadn't filed for divorce yet, so it's not like you got the house in the divorce or something. So just another way of saying, like, he is supporting you and the kids. Like, you're living in his house. You're not under court order.
Can I point out one thing?
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Can I point out one thing? This has got nothing to do with anything. Sorry, Jay. When we seen Heather's Costco, even with the eyelid being taped up,